home with you. For those interested in the swag game, Midwest also has buttons, stickers, and different things up here. If you want to support the cause and help us do what we're doing, we have the small stickers for $1, the buttons for $2, and the larger stickers are $3 a piece. And we do have the Without Rule of Law card sets for $15 today. They are now, I believe, officially out of print, so the ones that are out in the world right now are the last ones that are going to be out in this rendition of the game. So if you would like to purchase a deck, all proceeds go back to the Midwest.
I didn't realize you guys gave me the note too. Thought it was just
At this time, I'm going to bring up the president of Midwest Preparedness Project, Patrick Henry.
Thank you, SSG. All right, everybody give it up for the SSG, the VP, the MC of the MPP, APC, XYZ, Elemental P. But not LGBT. I don't know. $20 is $20. He's a capitalist, right? That's good. So here in the spirit of capitalism, thank you all for coming out. We appreciate it. This is I think our 19th, 20th MAG meeting. Thank you very much. See Davis and Nicole are in the house. Thank you for letting him come play with us today. I know. He's got a lot of honeydews, huh? He told me you keep him so busy. No? Voluntarism. Oh, call it, man. You're speaking all of our love languages. But thank you very much. If you guys don't mind, real quick, I'm going to say a quick prayer. We're going to bless this thing, and we'll get our meeting together. Started correctly. Father, thank you for this gathering of friends, family, saints, and tribe members. We appreciate the opportunity to get together. Where two or more of us are gathered in your name, you shall be with us. And so here we are. We would like to have you bless our activities today, bless our conversations, and make sure that we all learn something from Angie as she shares her knowledge with us. In your holy, precious name, we pray. Amen. All right. So you are here because you're a transformer, and I'm standing in front of the microphone, the speaker. Angie is going to teach us. So you did a little bit of this last year, right? Yep. I think last year we had Angie came out. Anybody here attend Angie's class last year? Yeah, a few of you. Anybody here? That's right, because you went home and you taught Mama how to can, didn't you?
I knew how to, but she was.
She became like the official family canner, right?
Sure.
All right, that's how it works. Are you kidding me, Joe? She's still not canning. She's not like the canning queen. That's all right.
Many other things with my school.
Do you want a car? Check. There we go. If you want a car, you better get back to canning. That's how this works. Right. All right. Very good. I see Will's in the house. How are you? Good to see you. Nathan came all the way down from the grand Midwest of Kansas. Russell? Yeah, 5-hour drive. I think you got the longest drive here. That's fantastic. All right. I guess without further ado, actually, we'll talk about it at the end. I know Bobby's got some stuff he wants to talk about at the festival. We are now finished with the fall festival. Anyone here not going to show up to the festival next month? All right, everybody look at James and point. All right, join me in shaming him. Shame! Shame! Oh, no, I'm kidding. It's okay. I appreciate you, man. You'll be there experience. But yes, so September the 8th through the 13th, we got some great stuff. Bear Independent's going to come back and hang out with us. So if you guys missed that, or if you want to get dunked in the lake by a big old bear paw, Bear will probably be baptizing people again. So that'll be cool. We've got a Women's Health Summit this year, which is nice. And we'll, kind of like last year, we're expanding upon that. We had the ladies come out and do some midwifery stuff. They're going to do something else. And then maybe we'll get Angie to come back out. Angie, you got anything you want to say right now? Okay, perfect. This is the perfect reason why I asked. All right. Without further ado, I guess, Angie, are you ready to get rocking and rolling? Okay, real quick. Last things first. First things last. Last things first. There are some sign-up sheets over here by the door. This doesn't work over here. There we go. There are some survey cards. I'll get those passed out to you guys. And
I know what's going on. Forgot. That is on it.
we don't have our little pigtail. There are snacks over here. If you brought snacks, let's show your hand. Raise your hand. Did you bring snacks? All right, everybody shame everyone else that did not. No, I'm kidding. Gosh, you guys are so mean today. No, there are snacks. Make sure you help yourself. It's gonna be a couple of hours. Angie, is that all right? So sit back, relax, get some snacks, settle in. We'll get the survey cards passed out. And without further ado, Miss Angela Allard of Grumpy Acres Farms.
All right, thank you, everybody.
So I don't know.
I turned it on. Oh, I didn't go all the way over. Sorry. I had instructions and I didn't listen to Todd.
Good talk.
So welcome. Today we're going to be canning meat. And so how many of you have ever canned meat? How many of you ever canned bacon? How many of you ever canned chicken? How many of you have ever canned meatballs and sauce? Okay, well, Tara, she should be teaching this class. All right, so at the station, at the bacon station, it can accommodate 8 people. The chicken station can accommodate 18 people. We can split it if we need to. And then the meatball station can, I think, 5 people. So here's the deal. Each table actually has its own specific instructions. So we're going to go over that. And then the easiest one is probably the chicken. So when it goes into the quart, it's 4 legs per quart. And you're going to put one upside down, one the opposite way, then again, opposite, and that's how they're going to go in that chunk. So only way they'll fit. I have canned hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of chickens. That's what I do. I teach canning. My favorite class was 125 chickens? 125 chickens, and I had 21 cowboys that had to teach canning. And that was a fun weekend. So they said, they're so busy farming that grandma always did the canning. And so we couldn't remember what grandma did. So when we moved in, we were only there 2 weeks. They came knocking on my door. Hey, you sing your videos. You got to teach us. And I said, right on. So I did. So that's kind of me and what I do. So let's start. We did the chicken. So then we go into the meatballs. The meatballs are 16 meatballs in a quart. And then go ahead and pour some sauce on top of it until you've got about a ½ inch of airspace in there. Chicken, we aren't worried about headspace. Bacon. So the bacon you'll take a sheet of parchment paper, and then there's 1 pound of bacon in each Ziploc. And then you're going to lay out your strips, not on top of each other. Lay the strips out on the parchment paper, and then you'll take another piece of parchment paper and you'll lay that on top of there. Now, I know this is a lot, so I'll go back over, ask me some questions and that kind of thing. Then we're going to roll it, put it in the quart jar, and then seal it. There's vinegar on each table. I've laid out some paper towels on the tables as well, so that you guys make sure you wipe your rims and do all of that. So we do a lot of, my mind went blank. Sanitizing. We use tablets. Any of you that saw my class last year, you know that that's what we do. We do that because on the farm, you need to be able to get to the animal, because when a cow goes down, it's down. And we had a cow that went down, frozen to the ground. It took 3 days to get to it because it was, I think it was that year, it was like 32 below zero. And so the tractor wasn't going to pull that thing up. So as soon as it cooled down, and go out there, and then the guys literally cut it up on site and do all of that and get that in. And then it's our job to get that to a sanitary spot to get those into the jars. So what we use is, Karen, those sanitizing tablets in the back. Can you back us from? So who knows what the sanitizing tablets are? You're all preppers, you should all have them. So just a couple people kind of talk to me. Okay, we're gonna grab these and I'm gonna show it to you. In your prep stations, when you're prepping everything that you have at home in storage, these are excellent things to have and absolutely necessary. If the water goes down and the water coming in your faucet is unpalatable and it's not safe to drink, then you don't want to be washing your dishes in your jars with your meat. So it's very, very important, even boiling that off. There's only so much damage, there's so much boiling you can do to a jar to get it, if it gets that hot, you're gonna wear your jars down. So this is stearamine, and that's STERAM as in Mary, IN as in Nancy, E. Find it on Amazon. And so make sure that you have these in your, everything that you have to away. These are necessities. And I keep them with canning and all that. We've got them in the kitchen. We use them all the time. So that's how we've done it. If you guys want that are participating, go ahead, check out the cooler. You guys are gonna be pulling the jars anyway, so you're gonna see how that works. We just fill the coolers up with water and then put the sanitized tablets inside. Then the jars soak for 20 minutes, 20 to 30, somewhere in there, and then the jars are ready to go. So then we just take them out, put them on here. We'll distribute the jars after they're pulled out onto the tables and get everything ready to go. First of all, I know that was a lot of information to just kind of throw at you, so don't panic. It's fine. I'm here. Once you get your hands on, you'll never forget it. You're the canning like nobody's business. And this is great and necessary to know. How many of you have had freezers go up? Yeah. How many have you lost when your freezers went out most of your food that was in there? Right. Could you imagine if you had all the tools in the kitchen when the refrigerator went out to be able to save that food and can it up? Right? Save thousands of dollars. Because if anything like this, you've got at least half a cow in there, a hog, you've got, you know, all this stuff in there. So you don't want to lose that. That's a lot of money. So who has any questions before we get started? Nobody? Yes.
Those packaging on the tablets, you give you a ratio as to how many tablets you put in per jar.
Yes.
So, gallon of water.
Yes. Yep. All the instructions are on the bottle. So all back here. Yes.
Are those the same tablets you use for wine making, sanitizer tablets?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you use too many of those tablets, maybe?
No. All right.
But you can not use that.
You cannot use that. So make sure you follow the directions that are on there. Okay. So I'd rather overdo it than underdo it, right? So, okay, all right. So of those that are participating, this is your chicken station right here in front. This is your bacon station over here, and that is your meatball station. Go ahead and take some seats.
Separate people, show of hands who all participating. Show of hands who all participating. I will eliminate. Chicken table, where we?
Thank you.
And make sure, if you need to look at the sterilizing tablets as you're moving, feel free to come look at those. Take photos with your phone, and then you can look at the cooler, see how that looks and all that. That's where we have them stuck in the sterilizing case. Hey, Stack, you have somebody wanting to pay for the class? Yeah, no, I think we've got plenty of space to go between. Yeah, so that's a really good question. So Lisa was just asking me about us when we process the chickens. So we do the strong bond method. Does everybody know who William Bond is and Billy Bond? Good friends of ours. And then the hacks. Does anybody know who the hacks are? So Darren and Patty, we call them the hacks. If Darren can't fix it, nobody can fix it. And so they got together, they shared a farm together. And so they got together and they came up with this method of quartering out the chicken. So we literally get the birds plucked, get all of that done, and then we quarter them out. So what we do is we quarter the wings, get those off of there, get the legs off of there, break down the thighs and legs and separate those. And then we take the breast and we get those off of there. In your 1 quart jar, you can fit 2 chicken breasts in there, and we just put them in a hole. Pop them right down in there. 4 chicken legs will fit in there, which is what you're gonna learn today. So he does like 2, 3 thighs, it depends on what size the chicken is. Sometimes you can get 4 in there. To me, if you can get 4 thighs in there, that's a bird that needs to go for chicken stock anyway. It's not worth it. So, then where was it? Wings, we always just put in the freezer and then do wings later because it's really not worth the load. You know, to be honest, there's not enough meat in my opinion. But we got Jersey Giants this year, so I may change my mind on that next year. So, let's see. That broke everything down, right? Yeah, so we got all that in there. So that's about how you do that. You know what? Oh, the wings. Yeah, and then, so we'll see what the Jersey Giants look like, and if those are a little bit different, and do look like the turkey wings, then I'll change my mind on that. And so I'll probably soak those in buffalo sauce. Yeah, process is the same if you debone it. So, well, no, because if you're gonna debone it, then you can just quarter it and throw it in there. I mean, the breasts are deboned. So, yeah, same process. Then, especially in turkeys though, I don't debone ones too many times. So, any other questions before we get going? All right, so obviously there's enough food here. You guys feel free to move between tables, okay? Because 8 people can do bacon, again, 18 can do chicken, and 5 can do meatballs. So we'll start here because this is the easiest. So with the meatballs, when I prepare everything and get everything prepped, I go ahead and I cook my meatballs first. So any recipe you want, I did pepper garlic, our sausage, lamb, and then what else did I do? Oh, breadcrumbs and Italian seasoning. So those are the meatballs, and then I cook those. So what I do is I take a 2-ounce scoop and I scoop my meat up, and then in that scoop I cut in half so that it forms a 1.5-inch meatball. Okay, so that's what you want. There's no beef in these meatballs. Okay, so it's extra spicy pork. Came from Garen. What kind of hog was that?
Cooney.
Cooney. So Cooney. Yeah, and then our lamb. So that's what the meatballs are made of. Okay. So then you're gonna put 16 meatballs in a jar, add some sauce, make sure wipe it with vinegar, and then there's paper towels here, wipe it with vinegar and then seal it, just finger tight. Okay? And we get to the chicken. On the chicken, same thing. You're gonna have your own pork, and like I said before, you just want to make sure you place them opposite each time. You're gonna go up and down. Okay? Bacon. So with the bacon, I have bleached and unbleached, however you prefer you want to take it home. Parchment paper, you're gonna lay that out. And then who wants to put on a pair of gloves? And a little small. Small. There you go.
Aaron, what are we doing over here?
All right, so you can just go ahead and open a package of bacon. If you guys want to follow along, feel free to do that. Anybody else that wants to see how this goes, if you're planning on coming over and doing bacon, you might want to watch.
Beautiful. Thanks, sir.
All right, so you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna lay your strips lengthwise, okay? Right next to each other, just not on top of each other. And this is a thick cut. If you use a thin cut on there, the thin cut will kind of come apart. It'll be crumbly bacon when you cook it out of the jar, okay? You can put them a little closer to each other, and feel free to come all the way out. I can usually, like a pound is easy to get into the jar. Sometimes I can fit 2 pounds in. Just depends on what type of bacon, how I've done it, and how big the pork belly is.
And sourcing the bacon from West Depot.
Yeah, so there's 2 ways that you can do it, to get your bacon in. So the sourcing on bacon, if you have any meat locker that is in town, you can ask them for pork belly and then ask them the price. Feel free to shop around because everybody's different. Just depends on what their butchering fees are. You can also source from Restaurant Depot if you have any kind of business or anything like that. You can get a certificate to go in there and get bacon. I prefer to make my own. Does everybody know how to make bacon? Okay, it's a 10-day process to make bacon. A 10-day process.
That's why I'm making.
And so pretty simple. We may have to do that at some point and make some bacon and see how that goes. I have to do that because I could do the first 10 days and then just wrap everything up on the end. I may have to do that.
This is 1 pound, you said?
This is 1 pound.
Jeez. So it's the curing process is what you're talking
The
about?
curing process is a 10-day process, yes. All right, so now we have our bacon all laid out. So now we'll take another piece of parchment paper and lay that parchment paper directly on top of, whoa, hey, where am I? Bacon
A
on
lot
the
of bacon. I rinsed it off.
So now we're gonna get another piece of parchment paper. Set that right on top, ready? Right on. Now you're gonna fold this, so you've got the long way, the bacon went across. Now you're gonna lay that next sheet on top, and here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take this and then flip it, just like that. Okay? So we folded that in half. So once that's folded in half, then it's gonna, man, try to touch your bacon. So once it's folded in half, then you've got a sheet that looks like that. So now we're gonna take it so that we can get it in the jar. And we're gonna take this, and we don't wanna fold it on top. What we wanna do is we wanna roll it. Okay, so now you've got it rolled. Let me grab you a jar. So now we're gonna take this jar. And then it looks like we got a little bit of room there. I think what we'll do, we'll go ahead and take this down. See where that line is right there? So we're just gonna take it down there, how about that? Okay? And then we're gonna lay this on in here and shove it in. There you go. Let me grab you a lid.
So you don't put any liquor really in there?
No water, no liquid, not for me.
Get the vinegar on there.
Yeah, get your vinegar, there's your lid. Let's get you all jars. Yeah, bacon's a snack. The hardest thing with bacon is making it. Yeah, so I've got bacon, Aaron and I have bacon that we've had on the shelf at least 3 years that we still work on. Yeah. Any more jars on this table? Who needs jars? Oh, we've got what? A few more people that can do bacon? Yeah, 3.
Are we rolling it the same way we laid it out, or?
Nope, you're gonna go the opposite end.
And half again?
Yeah, and then you can find the lines. You don't want to break the bacon. So find where the lines and how you lay them out and fold it that way. Does that make sense? There you go.
Do you want me to hold that while you're on? Some good bacon.
Where we see the paper at, we're gonna, make it in, just throw it over there. Or the cover off.
Why don't you see?
And then we'll just pull that card on the chicken station. No, these are in the kitchen. I wish I was that lucky. Now, it does not matter if they're still a little bit wet. So go ahead, feel free to take a jar. All of the lids are on the second shelf of this table, by the way. And then sterilize.
Can you boil them too? Do it that way?
You could go drink, you literally, well, you can't now because I think it got dumped. But you could drink the water out of that food.
I would.
He would, but I guess he had to, yeah. There's for the chicken.
I wanted to count.
Does everybody need lids?
See how much, yes.
Y'all got the gloves on, I don't.
So you don't put nothing in there, bacon?
Mm-mm, don't put anything in the bacon.
And it won't
The
spoil?
lard is your friend.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Just like the pemmican in a way, lard makes pemmican.
Yeah, so in the olden days, before volcano jars came up with their whole shenanigans, they used to preserve everything, all the meat with lard. It's a natural preservation.
Angie, how long will this, bacon keep in a jar?
So we actually have bacon laying down on the shelf for 3 years that she's still working on. So how many jars are we down to? Well, we may not have any more on the shelf. We'll have to take a look.
Greater or less than 10?
Less than 10, that means that Yoda's gotta get some bacon going. It won't stay in the can, it's pressure can, it'll come right off. I mean, do we have permanent markers? We can try it.
There are some permanent markers in that too over there.
Last year we did it already.
You know, last year we just took whatever. But I get it, you guys are proud of your bacon. It doesn't. You put your initial, your name, however you want to identify.
So you don't ever date them to their last forever?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, so number one in canning is make sure that you use your eyes, your nose, your mouth, right? Huh? That's a fine point? Does it matter? Oh, there's a bigger one right there. Okay.
Does it matter if you don't use the vinegar or like that?
We'll let everybody participate, and so if you'll just do one jar, and then we can kind of move on. I think there's a couple people that just wanted to do meatballs. It was Peggy and you, Lisa, right? Oh, PJ and Peggy, so let's make sure they get a jar of meatballs. Peggy, you may wanna do the meatballs first. And PJ,
Well, yours is
because that's a limit of 5.
I don't know if she keeps them or not.
Okay. Yep. Very good.
Angela, do you keep your Ziploc bag?
No, if they had chicken in them.
Okay, never mind, it's trash.
Yeah, so she asked me if I keep my Ziploc bags, and if they have chicken in them, I do not, I toss them. 16 meatballs. And you make sure you wipe with vinegar?
Yeah.
Perfect.
The main thing is the glass, and that's where your product goes through. So it's, because the lid comes out of the sanitizer.
You don't wanna do your chicken again?
It is long. It is all through.
There's enough for 18 people to do chicken. I'm just trying to figure out. Because I'm just trying to figure out if I'm gonna have everybody make two or just one. So, okay, all right. So, y'all can go ahead and do 2 jars of chicken if you want to. Think you have more than that there. 16 meatballs per jar. How's it going? 11? All right. I mean, I measured it out last night. Excuse me, and pound the jar. Yeah, because essentially the 1.5 inch meatball is 1 ounce and a 4 ounce serving. So this is another way that if you're trying to work on a budget and you're trying to figure out, Patrick, fix the camera so that you can kind of see what everybody's doing.
Yeah, I've been moving it around.
Okay.
We're gonna zoom in down here now, guys.
Yeah. Any,
Okay, let's see, what
here,
do we
you
got?
can use the Yoda, the ugly Yoda one. Like it's considered my nickname is Yoda, they always give me all this stuff with Yoda on it.
Peggy is
Yeah, so
putting
each
16 meatballs per jar.
meatball is 1 ounce. So that's my 16 meatballs per jar. Now Peggy, make sure you add a little sauce to that as well. And then, you want a 1/2 inch lid sticks, okay?
Chicken.
And then, so each meatball is 1 ounce. 4 ounces is considered a serving. And then, so you have 1 jar, 4 people for meatballs. Makes sense? So you're getting your protein in, you can feed 4 people, add a little pasta to that, then you got some carbs in there, and you're good to go. 4 meatballs per person times 4 people, that, 16. A cover? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Peggy, that's the one thing I did not, I got it pulled out of the canning drawer. Alright. How's it going on the chicken? Looks good, looks great. Fantastic. Huh? Yeah, take the lid and then, well, we're gonna do labels later. This is just so that everybody can kind of see what they did and how it came out after the canner. Peggy's idea. Peggy actually said if there's a lid that doesn't seal, it's gonna be hers.
You're good.
So
No,
she
good.
was trying to mark it. Yeah, see, I'm like grooving on this. All I had to do was prep it. You guys are doing all the work for me. I told you to get 16 in here. That's enough. Yeah, there's enough that you can do one of these. I think we have one more person that wants to do meatballs. I don't know where.
I can do bacon. It's okay.
Are you good? Okay. Nothing's wrong with those, they just started on that one, so, but there's 2, so there's gonna be kind of.
Nathan's over here doing more bacon.
Lids are on the second shelf. Yeah, right, she said this is a lot simpler than she thought. Yeah, never be afraid to can the meat. So let's work on the chicken a little bit. So if you were doing chicken breasts and you were doing, you broke down the meat and all that, it's the same as the chicken that you buy in the store in the can. So when you do that, if you cook that all over again, it's going to get very, very dry. So these are something that you want to add to the meal at the end. They're already cooked, so you don't need to cook them again. So Unless you're frying it up and then just drop it in, it doesn't take as long to, you know, just pull it out, it'll still stay moist. All right, so we do 2, okay, and you did 2, Lisa did 2. All right, is there anybody else that's gonna wanna try chicken? I don't think so, well, y'all finish the chicken. Yeah. So are there any questions in this process? You guys all got it? Yeah, the bones do stay covered. You'll be able to see that at the end when we pull them out. They don't shrink or anything like that. No, he was asking if the bones got thin, right, and brittle from the cooking and being in the jar. They do not. What are you doing? Torture my chicken? Were you trying to get more than 4 in there? No, 4, that's it. So no, I don't see. Yeah, so, well, if you're gonna cook for me, so say you're gonna do a stew. So then go ahead and season that the way that you like. And then, I just use just a tiny bit of vinegar in there in the stew. You can't taste it. And so just do a little bit of that. Try to fit 5 in there. Instructions specifically said. Are we one short? Did you put 5 in a jar? Look at that.
Yep. She's homeschooled.
What?
That's what you helped me with.
Homeschool's supposed to be smarter. See, but now I know how she's gonna work when I give her instructions, and she's been wanting to come over to our farm and do some canning and help me with harvest, which this year I need a lot of help with. I got cucumbers coming out my ears and everything else, and tomatoes. And so I was gonna call her, but now she can't follow instructions. I don't know. Oh yeah, blame it on your dad. All right, so it looks like we got 3 more bacons. Is there anybody that wants to do bacon that hasn't done bacon? You ready? Okay. All right, I think we got 3 takers, and there's 3 left. We have 1 meatball left if anybody wants to try meatballs.
Are your meatballs, are they ready?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Those are kuni and lamb. And so, yeah, processed meat, when you start growing it yourself, you need to go buy it. So your chicken's different if you pay attention to where it's sourced and that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. It's just better. Like I thought I had KFC for dinner the other night, and it's like gross. And then I was sick from it, and so there's no more. And it's too expensive anyway. So, but man, it gets great. Happy. Come on, Pete.
Oh, you got me some.
You are me. Yeah, just put 3 into the water and the canner so they almost up. All right, you're right. You're right. Yeah. So you can leave those blank, it doesn't matter. I mean, y'all put your name on them, you're only leaving with 1 jar, whatever. Except for you, you paid for 2. Oh, you want to blame it on? Well, then go ahead and leave them. Hey, I'm not for torturing people, no problem. So in here, on these, you need a 1/2 inch headspace. That is way too much. But get you a spoon, that can be corrected. Thank you, Patrick, for, that would have been a mess. Yeah, it'll make everybody's jar suck. Yeah. And you will be cleaning my camera, yeah. So, all right. So I think what we'll do, after we get the sanitized lids off, so when they're done with bacon and all of this, we will go ahead and then we can load all of the jars on. I would prefer when you're loading on the cart, please put the chicken on the very bottom, put the bacon on the middle cart, and then put the meatballs on the top cart. Yep. How about that? Here's some bacon for you. Yeah. Chicken. Yep. Yep. My mashed potatoes.
We already started.
What are you doing?
Yes, it did kind of restriction. So, alright, we got that one way there. So, yeah, we're gonna come that way. And then we're gonna go ahead and fold. Don't fold it, roll it. And really, so, Nita, if you wanted to, see your lines, you got a pretty clear line. Let's check some of them, because your lines are pretty clear here. Now, let me show you some, because yours looks pretty good too. Hang on, PJ, let me show you some. Because you're like so really curving. Okay.
I gotta find that lottery ticket.
Oh, hold you.
It would help if I played.
Yeah, you'll just be on in a second. No big deal. Now go ahead.
It's just a thrill to them.
That's fine.
Now go ahead and roll it. So we're gonna put chicken on the bottom. We're gonna get these sanitized lids off of the cart. Yeah. All right. So then those are their meatballs on top, bacon on the second shelf, perfect. Does anybody know why we do it in this order? Why does chicken always go on the bottom? The bacteria, right? Yeah, and the amount of temperature that it takes to cook it.
Please not, don't shove it in my face.
All right, so all the meatballs are done? No, there's more meatballs. Anybody else want to do, meatballs? Well, the bacon should go in here first. Future, there is gonna be, go ahead, take that one, huh? There is going to be, meatballs.
Can I make some more?
Does anybody else that did not do meatballs want to do meatballs?
I would, but I'm busy.
Here's your jar over here.
You have been married long enough, you just pick me.
Yes. So the question was, if you got bacon from the store, can you can it too? Yes, absolutely. That's why we were talking about, like if you could get into Restaurant Depot or something like that, source your bacon a little bit cheaper. This is also perfect for that instance. Bacon goes on sale at a certain time of year, right? It's hard to sell bacon around Easter, period. And so that's when it always goes on sale. So you can load it up and can it around Easter. Yeah, any bits and pieces of the box, yeah, you can do that as well.
Did you know when the highest bacon sales day in the year?
The highest bacon sale,
Was I supposed to fold it that way?
I would say assume around Christmas.
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
I have an online question. I don't know if it's been asked yet. Does canning the bones help impart some of the nutrients from the marrow into whatever you're canning?
Oh, yeah. I would say.
Okay.
There you go. Yep.
Hopefully that answers your question, Jules.
All right. So they were waiting on 2 bacons and.
Well, it's good to see you, man. Yeah. So work is settling down, you're getting.
Those meatballs are
I'm
really
gonna-
cool. Seriously. I agree. Yeah, so I'm like, when I was getting the sausage and the meat and everything prepared, I went yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. And so then he brought me some fake plant from the garden, so I'm going home, I'm
You know what
making the
your
sausage.
membership
That's
dues
so
are?
good. I have to pretend.
Okay, which direction do I?
All right, so you're gonna take the long way, right, so you're gonna go this way, and then fold it in half this way. Okay, and then you can go ahead and knock that out, right? And then, let's see, your lines are there, so wash that line, put that there, and then go ahead and roll it, and throw it in the jar. Do you have a jar? Are we sure to jar?
There was a jar over here, now it's gone.
Oh, did I take it?
No running.
Let me see if there's one on the cooler. I swore I counted everything. Yeah, it's still over here.
That way or go.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to make it, it's never wrong.
They're busy. Nationally renowned.
Well, that's all right. Lisa, you're getting the bulk of it. So we'll just go ahead, once that's told you, just go ahead and put it in the bag. All right, so we have everything collected almost. Did you want to put your name on that jar? For your initials, so you know you did it? Yeah, no, we didn't. Peggy, you did Peggy for it. You can label it, and because your dad wrote it.
I don't have any mark. No jar.
And for a jar. And then, so these things happen in candy too, especially when you're trying to teach. And all this, so are you gonna be out at Midwest Camp Out? So when you want yours, let me know. I will take yours home with me. I'll be out at Festival Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's the other thing we'll go ahead and talk about for festival. The seed trade is usually on Thursday night. So we're gonna do something different. I want to implement. I've been trying to figure out how to make these seed trays like really cool. So we have the live plants in the spring. You got, hopefully everybody got their raspberry bushes and had blackberry bushes and either something else. But, so we have those, that came from Food Forest Nursery. We are affiliates of theirs, and so we do commercials for him, and he hooks us up. So he hooked up everybody, he said over 300 raspberry bushes, blackberry bushes, and that kind of thing. Everybody went homeless on it. That was awesome, and we really appreciate him. You can go to Grumpy Acres Farm, find the affiliate link. We make some money, he makes some money, y'all save money. So, so essentially where I was going with that on Thursday night, you guys are coming out because I saw all but one person was going to camp. So, so Thursday night, make sure, harvest your stuff. We're gonna do some seed saving. And I'll be teaching seed saving out there. So if you have a favorite tomato, something like that you want to look at, I'm gonna have some original tomatoes. Grumpy very graciously did a lot of planting for me this spring. So we have plum cherry tomatoes. And so those are gonna be amazing. There's a little trick to those. I'm not gonna tell you, you have to come to the seed tree. And then you'll find out. So hopefully we'll have some. He's really enjoying feeding them. So we'll see. So all of our jars are full. All right, so somebody needs to grab the cart and we're gonna get the canners loaded. The canners we need, before we put the food in, the canners need 2.5 to 3 inches. You're gonna go up to your middle knuckle and then of water in them. And we're starting with cold jars, cold food, so it needs to be what? Cold water. So it could be like hot out of the faucet, but not boiling. We don't want to put cold jars in hot water. And you don't put hot jars in cold water. You're gonna have a bunch of broken glass, and we don't want to do that, okay? So let's head to the kitchen. I can take yours too, yeah. Anybody that has a long drive is driving over an hour, I can take your jars and then I'll have them for you at camp. We'll make sure that those get sealed and stay sealed. Because when the car shakes and you're driving and all that, your jars were not sealed because you're literally getting your back in there. So that's all your bacteria you'll have to reprocess.
Big Bertha. You got the big one down to the baby one. Have you used one of these before, Nicole? What? What did you say like that? She's like,
No, that is like intimidating. Like, just all the handles. I'm just like, insecure.
All right.
I have one of
they
those.
do look into, let me just pan the camera
Hey,
right.
Pat, you want the camera turned?
Yes.
We're gonna get the camera on.
Get in here, Nathan. Get in here, Davis. Get in there, PJ.
All right, so what we've got here is we have two All-Americans. Anybody that came with me last year, you saw that we use this. This is my
Cameraman
favorite.
James.
You can find these on sale, usually at the end of the year when stock is running low. They'll have none in stock because people are getting them for Christmas presents and that kind of thing. So if you purchase it, pre-purchase it while it's out of stock, you can get $250 off. That's how I take this one. So, basically, these just, hold that for me, please. You gotta really hold it, Lisa. So these
Really
just
hold it,
turn.
Lisa.
Yeah, turns and it comes right up. So we've got that, and then this one is double rack. So we get those racks out of there. Yep, and the weight. So we put one down. If someone can make sure that we get 3 inches of water in this one. I think that hose just disconnects. And then come along. Yeah, and then there you go. Yeah. Mhm. So we'll just put the weight to the side. So there's another type of canner. And that's the Presto. So this one's interesting, and I really want to talk about this. Extra pieces for your canners are super, super important. And make sure that you have the right size extra pieces in your stock. So I thought for sure I was ahead of the game. I had extra gauges, and I did. I had extra gauges. They don't fit this nut on here. So with this, what happened, Grumpy swears we can still use it, so we're gonna give it a shot. We're just gonna try to keep it as dry as possible. The glass broke in here. So in off-grid situation, if I didn't have any tools or anything like that, I would use it anyway. So I know that this one is 2 pounds off on the pressure. So this one will actually need to be at 12 pounds PSI when we can. This one I believe is also off by 2. The reason why is this important? So at our elevation, you need to have 10 pounds of pressure of PSI in order to can it, make it seal, get that bacteria taken care of. So this is where your food safety and all of that comes in. That's absolutely necessary. So you can take these to the county extension office, thank you, and they will check the PSI. However, Prestos, they cannot check the PSI. So not all counties. So you'll want to call the extension office before you go, ask them what kind of canners they can actually test for you. This will show you where you're at. If your canner is off, that pressure gauge is off by more than 2 PSI, ditch it. It's not good. You gotta get a new one. So no more than that. So this one was due, the Presto, was due to be done anyway, exchanged anyway. So I'm not crying about it. And you're talking about like a $14, $20 part. So not a big deal. So have seals, extra rings in there. Your Presto does have rings, so that's the wax ring right in here. So you do want to make sure that you keep those nice and moist and that kind of thing. So, yeah, so the extra ring that's in here, you want to make sure that you keep those in. So I treat mine with olive oil, and so you want to make sure you keep these coated in olive oil. Don't leave them sit. You want to make sure at least once a quarter that you pull them out and then do that. They'll just last longer for you. Same with your All-Americans. All-Americans do not have a seal. It's just smooth. But what can happen is if you don't do the olive oil on the edges and the edge in here, a lot of times it will just like stick together and that kind of thing. So you don't want that to happen. You want it to be smooth. So you treat that with some olive oil as well. Okay. And then this over here is that 3 inches of water. So the way you could tell your 3 inches of water, take your fingers, put them in. That's a little more than what we need, but that's fine. So you put your fingers in. That water level came up to here. Really just count on the middle knuckle. That gets you the 2.5, 3 inches usually of water in there. Okay. So we can go ahead and, you got that?
With a helper.
Right. So we can get this counter on and then go ahead and then we'll need 3 inches of water into this one. Somebody wants to do that, we'll get the weight out here. And then.
Does it matter if it's hot or cold?
Huh?
Does it matter if it's hot?
Well, you're not gonna get hot water out of there anyway, that's gonna affect the jar. So, yeah, you're only doing 3 inches. So, with these on here, and then we can start loading. So look, I think there's more chicken than anything else. So let's go ahead and we'll start putting, chicken quarts in here. Let me know when it's full and we'll put a second tier on. I hope I'm not really.
I thought chicken was on the bottom row.
It is, they're pulling it off the bottom.
I see she's pulling it off. Long arm, baby. Amazing. Little stretch arm, isn't that like a super hero?
Yeah, so, yeah, stretch the family, they all have that quirkiness. All right, so is that full now? Is that good? Okay, so the wrap is already in there, so we can just move that to the stove. And then, but watch, there's so many behind me. They need to be fingered, like you're talking lids. We can get one more in there, I think, maybe. These are wide mouths, so. Here you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we just put this rack on and keep filling with chicken. So last year you were 13, are you 14 yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't want to put it upright against, so your center's gonna be a little bit different, because the All-American goes down, right? So it's kind of domey, and that's gonna fall. So you gotta make sure when you get into these centers, right? So I just do around first and then do one in the middle. All right, and then we can throw some bacon in there with that chicken. We get a couple more.
Time to process.
These are all the same time. These are all gonna be at 90 minutes. If you have, all meat, anything, protein, that kind of thing is going to always be 90 minutes in a quart jar. Okay, I think that's about all that's gonna take, because we can't have them on the side, right? Because it's a dome lid. You see what I'm saying? So, because we're gonna have to put it. But here, I have some sad information for you. You're gonna have to turn that camera around. You're gonna need help doing that. There you go. So, why did I have her turn the camera around? Your canner always has a front, and it's always gonna have the warning label there. And then you can see where there's a niche in the All-American in the front of it. And this shows you how to line up your lid so that it locks properly. So we can go ahead and start filling that one with the bacon and the meatballs. I think we
Somebody
can
else
get
is
all
trying
those
to
in there.
play?
Yeah, somebody come and play. Come load. 10 PSI 90 minutes, yeah. And we'll look and I'll show you how to get it to the PSI. Once it's to the PSI, that is when you start counting the 90 minutes. That's extremely important. Don't look at your clock when you turn the oven on or the stovetop on, and that's not your starting time. Your starting time is when the steam is coming out. I'll show you that. We'll be able to see all that. How's that looking? Is it gonna fit? That's like we have another can. Is that it? I don't think so. Well, these are white and maybe. Let's try it.
Okay.
Alright.
Nah,
I'm just being.
that's all right. We'll just get another one. Okay, so. Oh, let's see, I had an Android. I was planning on helping.
And they.
Yeah. All right, so then, let's keep it this one, we'll keep it this one for right now. Looks like I don't need any picture, I need to turn it, I don't know why that's wanting to float. Super strange. That's good. Yeah, see. That's good, 21. All right. And as you get to canning and learning all of this stuff, you can eyeball it, fairly simple. So we'll go ahead and get this one, because this one sucks, it's so heavy. We got. So let me get your fingers, because I can kind of, let's put some of these in there. Where can, there's still more meatballs I can use here.
Well, let's fall over then.
Yeah. Because we have this rock here, there's nothing floating here.
Oh, that's true. Water down the bottom.
Right. So this is different from, like, last time we did soups and sauces and that.
I missed that.
Oh, you did? I thought you were here. Okay, so then I just line these up. Make sure this is all down. And one of the ways that we do it, this is gonna lock, if you wanna go cross body. Wait a minute.
I'm just.
Yeah, but you're messing me up over here. So you wanna balance these, okay? So you're gonna balance them and then get them on. This is what these lugs are for. And you're gonna go cross body, has to be cross bodied. Or else you'll never get your can down. So these you want lock tight. So then we're gonna come around. We'll do the next one. What are you talking about?
It looks like there's a big gap.
Well, because honey, they're not all locked yet. That's why, yeah, so they're like, we still have 4 more to lock down. And then, so, but again, crossbody. Yeah, it's not like, I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's not gonna be the even Steven. This is a well-loved camera. All right. There we go. All right. Now, I know that my strength since the accident has gone down. Again, crossbody. Can I get somebody with some oomph to get in there and get those down for me? We can go ahead and put the rest of those jars in the other canner, All-American. But let's get the Presto little. Perfect. Look at that, see? One more jar, we didn't let it roam. Dang. Goodness, that all right. So this comes down, and this one's super simple. That's why I love that. That just twists and goes like that. It's good. All right, so these are different weights. The weights for the All-American look like this. They have holes in the side here, holes in the side here. This is where the gauge goes on, and that hole down at the bottom. And they all read 5, 10, and 15. So if Colorado has to be 15 pounds PSI, and no one wants to argue with me on that, because when you do, and you think you're gonna do it at 10 PSI in Colorado, you will be calling me crying because you made 200 jars of green beans and can't figure out why they won't seal. And so, yes, she worked on it for days. And then her husband called and said, hey, the class you're giving out here in Colorado, did you say 10? I said, no, 10 is mine. You're at 15. Anything over 1,000 feet, you're at 15, okay? So you wanna make sure wherever you're cutting and what you're doing, that's also gonna be crossbodies when you get in there and do that, okay? And you may need to loosen them up a little bit as well to get them over the top at first. And then, so anyway, so you wanna make sure you pay attention to that. Any canning book that you can find, whether it's a bulk canner, I am a fan of the Amish canning books. Those are what I love. Those are what I love. That's a big handle for the washing machine. Got me.
I'm just using you.
So anyway, the Amish canners are really good. All of this is in there. So they'll go hot packing, cold packing, all of the descriptions are in there. It starts in the very beginning. And that is gonna help you break that down and learn that. And then, Presto. Presto is a little bit different. Presto has the washer on here. Where is there? Ooh, I think, wait a minute. I don't have my glasses on. They may have left it loose. Presto. Oh, no, that looks right. Feels right. Yeah, because we checked it out last night. Never mind. That's what I was looking for. But these aren't mine. Mine are on the table right there in the corner. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, I think we took care of this last night because we were messing with that stupid thing on the gauge. Yeah, that's right. So, the Presto comes in, and so this unscrews at the top, and this is how you take care of your weights. So this unscrews at the top, and then it eventually comes out, and then you just add your weights. I think now, the current Prestos that are coming out, I do believe they're all at 15 pounds. So it won't hurt to can at 15 pounds, and it just is what it is. I don't think the magnets are removed anymore. So, there's that. And then, unless you can get a little bit older one at a yard sale or something like that, don't be afraid to get canners at a yard sale. If you can find them cheap, grab them. And then what you want to do, get them to the extension office, have them tested, make sure that they're good and in good shape. But I never lose on a canner. And I have like one of our guys that he was an original to MPP, and he was amazing. Gosh, but a hoarder. He was a hoarding prepper, which was our community's luck. So when Jerry passed away, his granddaughter and his wife were very gracious and called us and said, come pick up all these canners. And we were able to bless many of the community that did not have pressure canners. And so thanks to Jerry, we have a lot of people canning now that never canned before that. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead. I don't know the spoon very well. All right. Here we go. Is that high? Yeah, if you'll center that for me, that'd be awesome. Because we're gonna try to figure out how to get these done.
Maybe that one in the middle, and then so like.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pull that back there. And then I know, just move the jar. Okay, that looks good. So now we just gotta find which one's which. So that's this is back. Opposite.
That's the other.
Oh.
There you go, that's the back.
Just in case.
That's the back for the.
There you go.
We should have Peggy, where'd Peggy go?
Right here.
We're all on high.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna let these just heat up and then it's gonna take a little bit. So, while these are going, I have a very special guest of mine. If you guys wanna come out while these are getting the steam up, because it's probably gonna take about 30 minutes or
Sitting
so.
there eating, and then I just see you go out the door, and I was like, oh, well, there we go.
Okay, so if I could find him and I wrote him. So we have a very special
So we're
guest.
like, okay.
And that is Aaron Allard, my husband. And so Aaron decided that everything that we do in prepping and all of that. Yeah, so I'll let him tell you then, so I don't steal his thunder. But anyway, so he's excellent. He wrote his book, City Survival 101. And we're gonna, he's gonna tell you how to connect this and why today's class was so important to pick up. Go ahead, Frankie.
Thank you. All right, everybody enjoying the class so far? Excellent, excellent. Okay. So, shows like Tuesday Preppers and social media and movies have inoculated a lot of people in society into viewing prepping as an end of the world kind of thing. I mean, even the people that run the West Preparedness Project, you know, they'll be selling them without real offer. That's an end of the world scenario. Raise your hand if you think that that's what being prepared and prepping is about. If you do raise your hand, you need to come see us after we're done here because we're going to have an intervention. Okay? Because you're not preparing for the end of the world. You're preparing for next Tuesday. Literally. I mean, about what? Oh, no, come, if you think that this is about end of the world preparations, come see us because we're going to do an intervention. Okay? So, you're literally preparing for next Tuesday. Think about it this way. Everybody's heard the term the end of the world is coming, right? Every time you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, the world that you knew has ended. It's not there anymore. Something has happened. It may not affect you directly, but something has happened and it's changed the world you live in. So that's the type of mindset that we have to have. Part of the problem with the doomsday prepping type of stuff, in my mind, is a lot of people get into that and they start siloing all the different aspects of preparedness. So the City Survival 101 is based on a philosophy called full spectrum preparedness. And basically, instead of siloing the different aspects of preparedness, food, water, shelter, security, medicine, transportation, financial, communications, spiritual and mental, and community. Those are the 10 core aspects. Instead of approaching those as an integrated thing, they silo it. So I'm working on food, I'm working on water, I'm working on this. Think of if you're here last time I spoke about this, you probably heard this part before, but think about a wheel with spokes on it. What happens if one of those spokes breaks? Will the wheel continue to work? Yes, for a little while, but it starts running very rough, and it gets rougher and rougher and rougher until the second spoke breaks. And then the third one, eventually the wheel doesn't work anymore. It literally becomes a square. And that's what the idea behind full spectrum preparedness is about. So we're learning how to can. Out of those 10 aspects that I know, I'll name them again for you: food, water, shelter, security, medical, transportation, financial, communications, mental and spiritual, and community. Out of those 10 aspects, what aspect are we dealing with today? And the answer, it's kind of rhetorical. The answer is food. Everybody knows this, right? Think about this. Where else does the canning process and the food that you're putting up in long-term preparedness, where does it come into play in the rest of your preparations? Let's see if we can name a few. Number one, financial. Buying your food is a financial decision. You are expending capital on this food. So there's one aspect that you have to think about. Now, you're spending that money, that's a negative outflow capital. But what if it gets to the point where somebody wants to trade something for that food? Then it becomes a net positive, right? And think about this. Who here does precious metals? There's no reason if you want to opposite numbers. But if you do precious metals, imagine you're in a situation where everybody's starving. What do you think somebody's going to give you for your precious metals? They can't eat it. They won't be able to, they might be able to trade it with somebody, but that food that you put up long term becomes more valuable than the precious metals or the money in your pocket, right? So that's how it does it financially. What else? What other ones can we do? Help, right? Because you have to feed your body in order to make it through stressful times of emergencies, whether it's power outage, long-term disruption from a storm, or God forbid, the end of the world. You know, we have to feed our bodies, so we're looking at health. We want to be able to put that food up, maintain its nutritional value. It's one of the reasons why we push freeze drying as a long-term preservation method, because out of all the ways to preserve food long-term, it is the best by far in maintaining nutritional value. So if you can afford, or you can get into a group that's got a freeze dryer, utilize it. All right, get it and utilize it, or get access to ones you can do. If you can't do that, then canning. Dehydrating is probably the worst because well, aside from outright heat. But anytime you apply heat to the food, it lowers the nutritional value. It makes it so it's not quite as nutritionally dense. Let's see, what else can we, what other aspects does anybody think we can tie this food into? What? Security, that's a good one. Why security? I'll tell you why security. If somebody doesn't have food, they're gonna come take it from you. So we're affiliates of All American Summit. If you've been out to Midwest Affairs, you've seen us using it from time to time. And we were out at Devin Stacy's event in Hamilton, Missouri, and we sat up right next to the guy that owns the company. And he was telling us this story about Haiti, whenever they had the big earthquake in Haiti back in 2000, when was that, 12, 13, sometime around there, the last big one here. The relief effort, the relief organizations were down there, they'd be cooking this food, and the smell would waft up into the neighborhoods. And within about 30 minutes of them cooking, they had mobs descending on their place, stealing all the food, and they were left without anything. And one of the benefits of a sun oven, per se, is you don't get those food odors. It's a contained unit, and the smell of cooking food will not waft through the neighborhood. And trust me on this, somebody that is starving can smell food from a very long ways away. It's just part of the human survival. Okay, so we got security. What about shelter? How does the canning interact with shelter? Anybody? Really? I'll tell you how. Listen, if you don't have someplace that even has a modicum of climate control, you're going to lose every single one of those jars the first harsh Kansas winter that goes along. I was amazed. When we moved out, we had a whole bunch of cans. We didn't have enough room in the house, so we kept it in the outbuilding. And the very first winter, we lost about half the jars frozen, right? And I should have known better, honestly. I should have known better, but it's one of those things that in the moment we were worried about something else. And if you get into an emergency situation, a survival situation, you're going to start thinking about other things, and you're going to miss these small details, right? So the canned food comes in, you have to worry about shelter. Probably one of the biggest ones, probably the most overlooked things that somebody thinks about this is community. Food is a great way to build community. In fact, you tell people flat out, if you want to build a group like what Midwestern Friends has got, if you want to build your own personal smaller group, have a potluck. Don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, and definitely don't talk about preference. Just get to know somebody, right? Talk to them about their kids, talk to them about their family. Get on a very personal level. That food brings you together. Now imagine an emergency situation. Who here, just quick show of hands, who here knows about the preparedness trove of, I'm gonna take my stuff, I'm gonna lock my gate, and nobody's coming in, and I'm not gonna interact with anybody until it's all over. Who just is off the top of, and show of hands real quick, who's heard of that in either fiction or people just talking about it? My opinion is that, you what?
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Linda.
Oh. Yeah, Linda. But if one of the things, everybody says, you know, I'm not gonna help you. Why? Why are you not gonna help me? Number one, as a Christian, that's just the wrong attitude. So you need to start thinking about what I've got in my larder that I can share with you. And I'm a firm believer that you make emergency kits for people that you don't know, complete strangers. And then you'll get rolled that they're gonna get kidney up to this. Okay? Yes, that's a risk that you're gonna take. But you know what? If you go behind closed doors and you're not doing anything, you're not sharing the food that you're making, you're not doing any of this stuff, you are going to lose the ability to influence the environment around you. Now, I understand that that's a long trek from standing here at Saint Church on Sunday afternoon to where I go back to and helping guide the community. But these are things that you need to think about when it comes to preparedness. Don't silo what you're doing, because everything that I say about food,
What's going on there?
by the career people, every single one of those guys.
There are flames that keep coming up back here.
Right? So start thinking about it in a whole different manner. It's all intertwined, it all happens together. The food needs some help, the health needs some work, the ability to work makes sure you can help the neighbors, helping the neighbors build social capital. You can spend with other neighbors to build a community. It's all one hand. And that in a nutshell is basically what we're about, and that's why doing something like this, an environment like this, is thank you very much. Don't worry, it's coming.
On the little one.
Yeah, so the cans are getting close to 10, so we'll go ahead and put the weights on again. I don't know how many of you, saw the weights we were trying to fight in the kitchen. So we'll talk about these. So this one is gonna rock. So I know who it is. And so when that starts doing who it is, that's when we'll start our timer. This is the one for the All-American. These weights are 5, 10, and 15. This one is a 5, 10, and 15. The new Preston for rockers are all at 15 now, from what I've seen. Double check and verify when you get your can, do that. So these will get put on, we're not at 10 and we'll start our timer. And then, we're gonna do 90 minutes. So we're gonna take that 90 minutes, we'll take most of it, and, go with it with each other, and we'll just work out and, check and see any of these, things that we need to lower the fire, that kind of thing, because this is a speed to change issue. So when you're canning, you can't go through your canners and do that. Step away for a couple minutes, go to the bathroom, grab a beer, glass of wine, whatever you want to do. There's nothing better than canning with a glass of wine. And, so, we'll get these going and we'll periodically go back and check. Feel free to go check and make sure and see that everything's where it's supposed to be. Do you remember the Presto and the very large All-American are 2 psi off containers with fire. Does anybody know? Huh? Okay, then I'm here to teach people lower the flame. So you're gonna lower the flame, but in that, when you lower the flame, you're also going to, you affect that weight again, right? So you gotta watch it, and then do I need to raise it up a little bit? Do I need to raise it down a little bit more? That kind of thing. So that's what we're gonna be doing in here. I encourage everybody to get up, when you look, take a look, and, watch how that goes. We're gonna put the weight on at 10, and then, let's see, then we'll pull those, have to cool down, we'll get that pressure off, remove the gauges, and then, see how that gauge is. So you guys, try to feel what the next one idea, you guys put your initials, or you're just reaching on the jar. So, food blame, when the jars don't fill, or something great. We'll see what happens. Take it with the thinking of hers, we're gonna feel. But, I think, and she did a good job last time. So, each fellowship, check out here. Do you have any questions? Let me know, does anybody have any questions right now? Anything to leave. So in all American freeways, all American, and so there's your basic way like this. So that basic way. Presses your hula, and I've always seen them as hula. No, they won't fit. The electric, we actually used an electric last year.
Yeah, I brought mine.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. Yeah, so, yeah, it's 50. I don't have one. I thought after I use it, I'd go buy it. But usually a lot of being able to use our stuff off grid. I would really have to look and see what the wattage is and usage on that before I would consider, what is it? 1,500 watts, maybe. I don't know, but that's what it would take to run a new feed, so. All right, I can hear it centrally, so I'm gonna get these on, get one on, look and see. Yeah, I heard it. He was like, come and help me. All right, my glass, I'll get it, my fingers. All right, so we're going at 10. And we're gonna very carefully, if you don't want to burn yourself, very carefully get that on there. Put this one on there. And then we're going to put the other one on. All right, we're going to go here. So we're going to actually go ahead, we're actually going to go ahead and turn this one down a bit. Other. So there's that one going. That one's rocking. Is that this one? Or is this one? Come on down here. This one's not done. We're going to leave that one on high. It'll get going here pretty soon. Yeah. This one's not ready yet. This one and this one. Huh? Well, that's not tight. That's part of the problem. Hi. Don't ever do what I just did. What's that? We're gonna just let it steam. It's not pressure, so I don't know, but I did what I could there.
Yeah, my sister-in-law's got one like this, so.
Yeah. you can change the time a little bit. Because we turned the fire, remember we were talking about how the fire lowering flames and raising flames, how that affects your pressure gauge. So this is just the beginning. We haven't started the time or anything. We're just waiting for everything to come up. Because it's, so as you know, I've been playing with the flame. It was a 10, and then I turned it down a little bit because it was going up pretty fast. And then when I turned it back down, that's what happened. So you can see it starting to up harder, and we're going to gain pressure here. And we gain pressure here, so we can start 90 minutes, you say, if you want to handle that on the short one here. We're ready to go. Hang on, yeah, she's on the small, All-American. Now, you can be 2 PSI above, you can be 2 PSI below, never higher or lower than that, okay? So on the Fresco, do you want to put that timer on the Fresco? Okay, 90 minutes. Now this one's just gonna take a bit. You have way more drinks in there.
I mean, all these women that are just, I love candy. I pressure canned once, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. And I haven't gone back to it, like, I don't understand what people like so much
About pressure canning?
Yeah.
Because the shelf life and the different things that you can do. So, basically for those on the computer, because here, she was asking, so she didn't understand a lot of women why they love the pressure canning so much. And, she did it before, but you've never gone back to it. And so, it's just a preference on what everybody does. So if you, with the pressure canning, you save time. So when you're doing 4 thirds of meat, you're 90 minutes. If you're gonna water bath, you have to make sure that that water bath is all the way full. It takes 3 hours because it's double time. And you have to make sure that the temperature stays always over 225 degrees. Now, if you were gonna preserve all of that meat and you were gonna water bath it, well, honestly, are you confident that you can keep all 3 of those combinations for a full 3 hours?
I'm just saying all ferment all day long, but I don't like the can, and I don't know why.
I don't know, I mean, it's everybody's been different strokes for different folks, but you ferment, right? I don't care for fermenting. So there you go. So now you have someone who looks for can, someone who doesn't really care for fermenting. I don't like to deal on the farm. I don't like to deal with the gnats. You guys have that problem too, I'm sure. Yeah, the gnats out in the country, it sucks. And so I don't want to deal with them. Every time I make vinegar, I'm fighting. And I just go with that. And so that would be something if I wanted to ferment it too. You want to canned food, maybe you can just barter that out in the end, right? So that's always a good idea to do that. And this one's getting ready.
All the way up to, 18.
We need to turn that down. Let me find it here, so we'll come down a little bit.
So is that one keeping it from dancing?
That's a different time.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, is how you know when it's getting dry, when it starts to wiggle, or?
On the day.
Say it's all wet to 18. So that one doesn't do anything? Huh? So that one's not supposed to do anything? No, it doesn't.
I mean, it's thin, but it'll start to jiggle, but right now it's telling me it's too hot. I can leave it in the glass. I don't know why I'm hanging in without the glasses. I'm better than that. Oh, that's why it's like that.
That was dirty. So it's some of the pressure down now. So it was at 15 psi instead of 10. So now see, it'll start coming down. Okay, yeah. So that takes care of that. That's what's happening there. It's okay for a minute to come down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did some ground beef 3 or 4 years ago. The last time I tried it,
Yeah.
and I did some tomatoes, watermelon style that year.
Okay.
But, yeah, when I was down for this, I was like, hallelujah, because it's like, I don't have to do the stove, I don't have to worry about the pressure, I don't have to worry about the timer, none of that.
Right. This is what's fun for me. It's also a way when I'm canning, when I'm teaching canning. It's a good way to just share with people another way of preserving and getting that done, putting feedback. Because let's face it, especially as prices are going up now, it's crazy. And, you don't think about it. Would you guess how much you spend in food you have on the table? Just that little bit. Just guess. Over $200. That little bit of food, you actually be able to save your food if the freezer goes out and that kind of thing, right?
That's why I want to know. Like, the thing is, yeah, I ferment a lot of stuff.
Can somebody start a timer on 90 minutes on the large, or you didn't have one yet? I thought you were doing the pressure, so you're doing the pressure. Okay, 90 minutes, let's start on that.
I don't mind pressure canning. I haven't done finishing, but I don't mind pressure canning. The only thing I have with pressure canning is the fact that there is the risk of jars like exploding on you. But I like canning water.
But do you remember why when we talked about the jars exploding? Do you remember what that was? What was that a failure? It was not just the pressure, but it was the lid was not on tight, right? So if you don't get those lids right, you don't check those rings and double check and make sure. Here you go, finger tight, and then try it one more time. Make sure that they're not spinning. And especially now, the way the quality and everything is going, you can just cotton around. Especially now with the quality and everything, the way that China and stuff is working. I don't know. The quality is not as good. There's a little bit. All right, so any questions at all that I can answer? I just really did that bit of the class. Yes. Yes, I do. And I do believe we have a couple videos on that as well. There's the older videos, like maybe, here. The pressure came on the list, so this is your video on that. So that was like a pleasant home off. There's another home for that video in there. And I thought I did use some videos in there. You know what, I can do one, I'll do one this one, okay? And, how do we keep our house warm? Oh. Your turn 60. You turn 60, it's all downhill from there. Oh, I would love to have a friendship day. A friend of mine has one. The purpose of the kitchen clean. No, not the kitchen clean. I would love to have that. And, but yes, it's seen on that. And, so I thought you were talking
wood burning stove. Is that what you were talking about? Yeah, so, yeah, you can on that, absolutely. And then in fact, they even have, privet, so you can get the cast iron privet, even where else. Also, Ohio, but, it used to be on, where's the factory up in Ohio? I want to say yours, but it's not with me. It's mountain, but it's, yeah, what is it? Everything on the tube. It's got the wood burning stove, it's got everything you can use for fresh food, home study, the whole nine. Like, I think I got some of my, canners and stuff. I don't know what's in my mind. But, anyway, if you watch anything on YouTube, you'll come across it, someone's always talking about this. Yeah. So, you know how the cold temperatures work? So they're actually using the cold temperatures. The cold temperatures are online, they're free. Just download it from there. That might be something I'll do next time. Especially when I'm do like learning how to make bacon and that kind of thing. That's all that. I will usually go print those out and I put the plastic on them and that kind of thing so they last a little bit longer. But, how many cold from the plastic cold determines the temperature. So the way you control those foods and, the weight on that is by spreading the cold instead of putting it on. There's like this curve on the wood burning stove, it's going to help you control that on the wood burning stove versus, dealing with the cold. So that's kind of how they do. Like I just want you to off grid, cooking when we do that. So, that is what you're doing, so that would be more of like NCT or something like that out there. Yes, it is. Yes, so, you're absolutely right, and that's why I like PM at different times of the day, and I only PM at different seasons of the year. For right now, the majority of our tomatoes go into the freezer, and with enough peppers and that kind of thing, even the September, the October roll around, and then I will start canning and getting all of that done. She's building me an outdoor kitchen, and that is completed next year. The outdoor kitchen is great. Right now, I have a black stone I use outside, and I'll just do that on the porch, and then get that done. And I also have an 8-burner oven stove that I use back to put canners on that. So the idea behind the outdoor kitchen is getting that and having all of that working for me is wind block. We're in a valley, so our wind circles. So you can't just walk if the wind's coming east or west. So, it circles in there, so I really need a nice wall that I can protect that with. Right now, what we do, we use vehicles, and so we had to do that when we were in Kentucky, and I was taking class out there. We ended up just pulling the truck up behind us, and that kept the wind from blowing into there, when we were there. I was just immediately so we could put in the pressure and then just expensive pressure. So, then there was a, okay, so you little pictures, tricks like that, when I was teaching in the farmers, the ranchers, Patel was out there, standing and that kind of thing. He had, pieces of like plywood and that kind of thing. We just leaned up against, the carport, and that helped wash some of that wind. So when you're cooking outside, the wind is what is possible. Yeah, and if it's cold, you're gonna have a pieces. So, if you work it around that, a nice day like today would be perfect to sit down. So, yeah. On YouTube, also on, Rumble and there's another one. It's,
I Facebook page as well, for favorite friends, and then some of the, I need to get more video creators on here. People busy with other things, and I didn't get it more. Here, but Facebook, so that's on me. You can also find it on X, that's it. X. So if you're uncomfortable on YouTube, feel free to go to your level and you can do everything there. So maybe you see us live on Tuesday night. You have questions like this, not just Tuesday night. So, oh, it's like, people count on time, but, you know, oh, it's good time, because it was a video, you know. Any other questions? Do you want my honest opinion, or do you want? My life experience is absolutely possible to be coaching in the water. However, it's going to be 3 hours per flight. So you have to double your time. Okay? So with double your time, you need to make sure that the water is at high wind movement. There's a 225 degrees consistently for that 3 hours. So if you can check, it's easy. That's how the odds did it. That's how great grandma did it. That's how the other did it. Any other questions? Yeah, I wanted to come in and show you guys those right ways first. But yeah, if you want to go right on the steering, yeah, you totally do that. Totally do that. Very easy. Just double your time. Make sure you want it possibly for and then you're good to go. So, all right. Anything else? Yeah, okay. Okay, well, then I'm going to check and see what kind of things how do they not keep things straight? So, I'll just check and see on that and then we'll come back. Yeah. So, no, you cook up like you can, or in terms of canning, then, so in terms of canning, it always is the same way, and the same process. There's a kind of a ripple oven, like flat, it's really a lot of meat in there. So, yeah, so the reason you know what rebel canning is. Rebel canning. Yeah. So that is very serious, last, that is very serious. There is a way that our government has told us to can, how I talk to today, is that my favorite way to can, and the only way that I can, what is not. There are some things that we did today that the government would be very unhappy with. One, we can do. Two, we put broth to the state. We don't need to. And then when it came to the marinara sauce and the meatballs, that was all stuff that came off my farm, it's not so long. I'm here then. You walk right through that. I totally am. I'm waiting. So anyway, yeah. Oh, I can't fit all the on another smoke finger, and then steam it up. And the thing is, what is the reason on that? So I did not add, what we're gonna add anything, we will do different. So, because it's never bothered us, we can't go in the kitchen. So I kind of like the fish net, one time I smoked that, and it had like octopi and other shrimp and lobster and little things like that in there, and that one came out really good. You have a favorite? Was it the sausage buckeye that I did? What was your favorite fish that I did? the mahi mahi. And so, but yeah, it's not all of that stuff. It's spent 2 days smoking everything, because that good stuff to trailer. And I sure everything on there. Smoke it and can it. And so they everything scrub. And then just like a big pop of it and just throw everything in and can it up. Yeah. We'll do that anymore. Yes, smoke it, and then you can. So the question is that we do is that city said in CNN, absolutely. That's what we're talking about. It's delicious. And so it's a quick way to get that kind of protein too, in storage is to do that fish. So if you ever see fish on sale, that kind of thing, tilapia, right now you can get pretty inexpensive. Just make open the button, because I found 3 pound bags of shrimp at Walmart, and they were only, it came out to like $3.50. Maybe they were 2 pounds, but it came out to like $3.50 a pound. And I didn't buy all of them. And I went to go back, I went back. I thought, boy, I kind of see them. I went back. So our pond, we have this route, and our pond got very, very low. Maybe there's a chance that the catfish survive, because we can get completely dried out. But for the studio bass, all of that, we have to relook it. And we're gonna throw in a couple hundred goldfish, when I get to it, and I figure out if pet front still sells goldfish or not. So if there's 200 in a pond, it's gonna get to ready for us to order in the spring. And our coffee catfish comes up, take that to the farm, to our co-op, and I just go there. So, and I'll order and get those on, but yeah, I would catch fish all day, but I don't wanna go utilize it. Yeah, so I did mahi, and so it's the same one as the green tea after the store. So, yeah, it's the same one. And my rule of thumb, and this is off the level thing, anything that you find in a can at the store, you can buy off the shelf, is everything that you think can sell. I use tea sauces, I use tea soup, I use milk. I do the thing about milk when you can it is that you need to remember your processing it. So if you do a whole milk, that's actually becomes a 2% milk. If you do a 2% milk, that is going to become a skim milk. So as long as you remember that, and then so if you like a 2%, can a whole milk. Raw milk, I do not can because I'm not going to ruin a fine milk. So, yeah, cream cheese, yeah, you can cream cheese butter. You can make the butter into cheese, and then all of that. So look at that. On the fish and the shrimp, I do not have liquid fish. Yeah, just I like the fish smoke better. To be honest with you, I'm always been a ham girl. And so my dad was in the military, the dirt military, during my municipal training. And so all of those commodities like that, with everything that you get at the commissary during that time, when dad wasn't getting paid. And it was the government cheese and the government peanut butter and that kind of crap that ruined me for it. And we lived in San Diego. So but I was taking some of them. And that ruined it for me. So I was picky. Hard to pick them out. So, yeah. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay. You guys rock it up. Here's one. Produce pasta? Oh, you can get a recipe people? For peanuts? Okay, yeah. So that's just a bowl. So there's some meat people, your garlic, the pine nuts, and then olive oil, and then you put the lemon in it, if you want some lemon in it, and then you kind of get the way that you taste it, if you like it, the taste, and that oil, the olive oil, is actually your taste in there, and so just throw it in a dry pan and it's going to be 20 minutes. 20 minutes, yep. For time, yeah, time is going to be
about 18 minutes, 20 minutes in there. And then if you want to do the pork shirts, you can. And I would do those for about 25-ish, just to get them sealed, make sure in 30 minutes. So you don't need any more than that. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, no. Look up the recipe for pesto, right? Whatever pesto you like. Look that up, make that, and throw it in there. Olive oil for some people. Yeah, okay. All right, any other questions? All right, so I'm gonna have to go take a look and, you guys, is there gonna be text again or some kind of look at it? Is this the dangerous part? Are you scared? Okay. So, no, I wouldn't consider this a dangerous part.
No.
I consider the dangerous part taking a while.
I turned it down, I'm waiting to make sure.
Do you want to do it? And you said that nothing's coming back in your ears when you open it, and,
See if I get it down.
when you just put it back in and have to come up in there.
Need to be 12.
But it's not on the ceiling, it's in your plate, I take it off.
This one I'd like to see it again.
Yeah, those are glasses are good. So what should you look out for when you go home and you start the process on your stuff, when you're looking at this? So if you have a reason before you go, I would have a look at that, try to understand.
I know,
But
nobody
what you're looking for, you want to hear the lid sealed, you're gonna check the lid to make sure that the little plug and someone else completely down, lock on that, and then,
And I don't
now,
want to.
you know, a jar, it can actually take 24 hours to seal. So, keep it in there, don't, you know, if you come back in 3 hours and it's not sealed, don't give up on it. And once it cools down enough, on the third time, yeah, don't be pushing on it either. And, when it cools down, you can let it through the refrigerator, that'll have to cool and pull some out of it, you know? One of the other things that we learned my first day from the last scan class, if you are over 30 minutes, 45 minutes away, from this event, you don't want to take your charge with you. I will take some, let them cool down, and then bring them out to you. Prepare them. So this is kind of, and we'll have it done. Totally good enough.
Well, the thing I worry about is like that dangerous thing.
Yeah, I felt like it was hard.
And here we have a solar generator.
So that's called, so you have the, I got the, I really not so over there. That's the place that, here in the town.
But I'm still like, okay, so that's great.
So, you know, it's really quality. Every time
I've heard people say too much in the freezer, so you have all your meat. Just don't put
Right,
it
and
in a
we've got,
little,
we've got everything from the chicken container, every year,
shot glass in there, with water.
and if you go look at those pieces in there, I was very disappointed with the packaging. The plastic was in the way.
But then,
And that way you know the flavor is in the bottom.
that was
It's a quality issue.
And melt. Yeah,
Also, you want to make sure that you're checking, to make sure that the fluid is sealed, when it's sealed, you're going to suggest take the leaves off.
and keep it that way rather than keeping it in the freezer.
Yeah. And you go, being prepared.
Yeah, you can't even know all of the stuff, and it's like, I called it, and I was in class, and one of the judges said, no, seriously, I just left out in Kentucky, and I had first time cancer, and they paid good money to, you know, for me to come and teach it, but you guys are getting it. And so, because usually this class is $200. Yeah, and so, they, you know, there's a little more that you go home with, but yeah, this is an expensive class. So you got out there, and they did like pasta, we did the, ready and with the meat, that kind of thing. And I got everything in and put it in the pressure can. And I didn't check the lid. So when they take that kind of money for that, I don't. And you have to check the lid because I'm talking something too. Because what will happen if the jar fills in there? And I have to wonder what's in it.
So,
What happens? Huh? I mean, they don't know you're on, but it's intentional. So, well, why would I do that? Why would I do okay with that? You want to go on? Because if I fail there, you're not afraid to fail where you go home. Okay? So I literally had, we had the jars of food. And one of the girls, it was actually,
that's one of the things that.
oh, like I could see them. She does the truck stop. And so Chuck's daughter, she actually came up to me and she said, you know, I did. She said, good, I have not seen you feel that. And that happened to me the first time I came. I'll never forget it. That's why I did that. So it's very important that you never call me. See what?
I'm definitely gonna need a home check.
Yeah, I do a lot of it over in Ukraine and that kind of thing. I've never done that. It's very enticing. I mean, I'm a special trainer where that's there as well. So,
They were more than one purchase of when you get that, how much you get.
so what's right here? Well, I mean, it's really, so if it's, because it's kind of like what we're doing here, right? I mean, just for the water and that kind of thing. But it's not really,
But I wanna make sure. I'm happy with it right now.
She said, didn't she said 90 minutes? Is it out of the time? And what time did you start it?
Well, those two got started a lot earlier. I'm keeping track of what's in the last one. Still has over an hour.
So you have that, it's a lot of fun. I'll see that how it's working. And, usually that's how you, this is a lot of fun. So you don't have to make your brownie here, so your cookie cups or your whatever you're doing. And then put it on your dirt, make sure your dirt is dry. And then I would do this, put all three times of it in a half time. And I'd do white mouth, especially if it's brown, and nothing. Well, nothing but your white mouth, that I'll do they don't fall. And then, basically take your like fish or something, or whatever, and then pour that into the jar, you're only gonna go a third of the way in the jar. And then throw it in the oven at the temperature that they tell you, cook the cake mix or cupcakes or brownie on, and then put them in there. And then, usually about 5 minutes before they're done, I'll go in and put the lid on, make sure it's tight. Throw that on the pan, put it back in the oven, and then they're still, and you've got muffins and brownies and everything. We pop them out of the White House. So, but again, that's not something that all candy. But, yeah, we like doing that because it's a great portion control. And, we have seats around, you know, so like we have to sit down and eat a dozen of the day time. So the times that they just kind of laugh. So, anything else? I think that's about it. So, where we are on our time? Where we are on our time?
What do you got timer? Oh, timer's looking.
1 hour, 2 minutes left, or
I
is
don't
it
know
half
about
an
the
hour?
first two. I'm fine with this one, and it still has over an hour.
Right, okay, all right. So then, this is a miscellaneous meeting. So we have an hour and 3 minutes left, there's still plenty of food. If you have any questions, come and ask me. If you need anything, I will. Well, I know,
I don't have one at home. I would think that it pulled a lot of heat out. but
I heard a
then you have to
rumor
turn the fire up a little.
that is.
Oh, I want to find out.
I heard that rumor too.
So they have coerced me. They coerced me $5 a piece, which is expensive. You haven't had it.
It's not expensive. You got it on the line, you pay $9, you're gonna love how $5
Yeah, and I said, oh yeah, and went through the freezer, and I had the sausage soup and the chicken for the frozen, but there's only enough for like 10 minutes. And but those are special, we saw those out at John's, 20 bucks, the bacon exclusion, yeah. There's a chef, there's Terry knows, and, they come out to, Southern Hill Farm, sausage, and, Terry just, and we did a collaboration out of, Silver Line Festival. And so we just my cinnamon rolls, and then her and a friend of hers was just smoked and made these wonderful sausage, chicken wrap, lobster, and cut those, through the machine of cinnamon rolls. Yeah, so you put them on a special and limited quality quantity, and, $40 a piece, and you only pull out that. So that's another collaboration for you. I'll find out when it's coming.
No problem with that.
I'll talk to you please. I know it's doing like a couple of
You did send me a gift, are you giving
Yeah, she has been up with a lot. We're gonna eventually, now that my schedule is gonna be changing, she's really coming back with us. I gotta give her a talk. And, so Fury is with them. And, Fury is coming up with, they have a farm in Wisconsin. And, farm in Wisconsin, they cut their own maple trees and all kinds of stuff. She's got caramel, they're out of this little caramel sauces, and then, she usually runs here at the festival. Loading up and finishing with plastic and stuff. And so I'll take all that home, and then I come up with a recipe with her stuff to do. So one of the things we're going to be collaborating on and looking at is more and more people are asking for more cooking videos. So I'm going to announce this here, and I promise, it's about a month and a half, and we should be up and running. I have enough experience product right now to do that. But when she saw what I could do with some of her stuff, she was blown away. The caramel sauce, I use that and base that on pork tenders. It is absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, so delicious. I didn't add some top apples into that. That's what. And so when she started seeing when I was doing some of the stuff, like I never thought of that. And I said, there's a lot of stuff we haven't thought about, and looking at this stuff. So, I mean, I think the duck dishes in there, fifty dishes of it, amazing chef quality stuff. I'm super, super excited about that. So we will get that done. Yeah. Blueberry jam. So Sherry and I work with Clever about that, so you'll see that, when she's out there, they come back in the spring, if I get them and all in the spring, which I'm sure will. When you see that, we collaborate a lot like that, and have the other meetings. Because when it helps sell my product, and it helps us sell their product, it's a lot of fun when we can all back each other and support each other like that, so that's what that's about. So, yes, I will be doing this. And you can pre-order your cinnamon rolls, through Yep, feel free to order, and then, a lot of people will like a big pack or a dozen, that kind of thing. So if you want that, I will put this beside of the Christmas one. You want to fix that?
Hey, Patrick, every time you're able.
I think that was not nice about the house of cinnamon rolls again, but that's what it is. Raise the price a little bit, and you don't want to do that. So, yeah, taking every one of them wants to fix that too. All right, thanks. So,
everyone in our night. We're obviously, in the past, we've done, we all got together and did macaroni rolls. Another time we got together, we put in my night, we came out to post, sloppy joes, we did sweet potato muffins, we did apple pie filling.
And this one can't go above 15, so I think it's in the sweet spot maybe.
Oh, it was, the hard for the
This one's starting to drop a little bit.
Yeah, so we don't, here looking like you're next month, I'm going to stick magazine, the following month, I know we've got some ideas. We're looking to do some collaboration with our friends in the summer. Metro areas.
You know a lot of cats that are out there when I went down there. So you can
Okay, so looks like, in October, Julie is up, by African last year.
actually right now,
Thank you, are you a farmer?
when you pull it out, is it already fixed?
But you're not a farmer. You passed here? So it looks like in November, we're gonna have Woodward West World come out. And he's gonna give us a, how to survive class and workshop. Then obviously in December, we're gonna have our celebration of Jesus, end of year potluck, we do a recap. We've got a couple of communications coming up, we're working to putting together some organizational stuff going on. You guys know we talked about that last year. We are working and financing some options for so, we're gonna take, we get your chance, same thing, well, we get your chance. I'm looking forward to welcoming you out and letting you see, celebrating the effort. Wait to we're in the United States.
Do you ever have one that didn't make it?
And then taking the state, white you're celebrating, you have to do it fine.
Well, you guys, the lid will go down.
We have all the decisions. We have acted on this one. Thank you. So we're just talking about how this part is going. And you get this class.
You mentioned that you might start your eye with your nose.
Yeah, we were just going around the room and we were discussing different things about workshop, and we all nominated you. So you're either gonna do 2.5 hours, karaoke communication out meetings, or you're gonna keep the workshop, okay? Karaoke it is, huh? Fine, very good. Yeah, so we can come along. I think Bobby, obviously, we've got all of the speakers. excited to see anybody in particular at the fall festival? Wasn't Joe? You're Russell over there? Yeah, like that. All right. Yeah, get mine. Tim's got one too. Yeah, he's doing good. That's the spirit. Yeah, very good. So, yeah, very very pretty cool. You guys, anybody here know who Nicole Crawford is? Nicole? Yeah, you know who Nicole is? You've not met Nicole yet. We're going to meet her this year. Nicole is part of our sister tour, the Great American Spirit Tour. She is the proprietor of the Silver Line Festival out in the Camden, Tennessee area. Amy, that's what Amy was talking about. We were there when we did that workshop for those guys. That was a fun workshop. But anyway, so they're going to take over on Thursday. Bobby is going to unceremoniously take that and report it back to Canada where he comes from. Southern Canada. Southern Canada. Yeah. Southern Canada. Where they don't eat green corn. Yeah. I didn't have a can on, no, we do not have a class on being thankful. We should have a class on how to reconstitute free corn.
We will have a class about can't take corn right into the swamp camera. Everybody show up.
Well, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. How to freeze dry seed corn. Well, okay, so James, what's got a freeze dryer? So we can nominate James to do a freeze dried seed corn. Right. Oh, I think Bobby has to be the first victim. It's just all free corn. Oh, yeah. I mean, you just feel corny.
My mom,
right?
my dad was.
That's how they make free corn. Free corn is just the leftovers from real corn, right?
We could trick Bobby into eating green corn by putting it in the freeze dryer, then it would be a
Story free corn? Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Peggy wants to know the story of green corn. Does anyone here not know the story of green corn? You guys don't know the green corn story? All right, so this is the true story. It's a sad story. It's a victim story. All right, this is not a victim story. So many years ago, Bobby and I were doing some exercise. We were out doing some exercise. We were out really just trying to get ourselves, lost in the woods, figuring out how to do comparative things together. Like we already attended, Nate was doing some instructional stuff up at the Blackthorn guys at the time. This is back after Bobby had decided. So anyone here who knows Mr. Kias in the 80s? 7-year-olds, right? We're all old. So I don't know if you guys do this or not, but in the 80s, there was a guy named Mr. T, right? Anybody here know Mr. T? Mr. T had a mohawk. And so when Mr. T was in war mode or like tour mode, he rocked his mohawk. But when he went into peaceful pastime, he stayed with mohawk. All right, just hang in there. So, Bobby and I, we're out doing some cool roadie stuff. We're getting lost in the woods. We're trying to be G.I. Joe. And we I don't know. What do we have, Bobby? 15, 20 miles. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Just up in our backpack, cool whip. And we just settle in. It's nighttime. We get all our stuff settled in. And we get to go to Michigan. Guess what? Both of us forgot to pack with us. The only thing we had in our entire rucksack was a can of free corn. So you know what we did? We threw that shit in the trash. We ate grub no, we didn't. We ate it. But before we never tell anybody. And now you all know the secret of cream corn. And ever since then, Bobby has had a distaste for cream corn and all things cream corn because, that's what we need to talk about. is the cream corn king of Kansas. All pay homage to the cream corn king of Kansas. Please donate your 1 bushel of cream corn upon entering the cream corn capital of Kansas. Topeka. It's all about cream corn. It's like a zero on cream corn. Huge. You know what? That's all I got. That's all I got. All right, so I think Andy is still trying to blow us up. James, you got anything? Ready for some karaoke? We did Sweet Caroline last time. Okay, so Betty asked a serious question. She said, why can't we get anything going in Wichita? Why is it hard to get a Midwest Security Project meeting going in Wichita? Lisa, how many times have I been to Wichita to attend a pie eating dinner or meeting down that way in the cafe? Yes.
The difficulty in Wichita is a personality problem. Okay. There's a guy who started a prep group in Wichita. So this is the sort of person who would want to do that off the cliff. And we've had all kinds of exciting times, you know, it's like show up for the meeting and he'd come in breathless late and go, man, I wasn't sure I was gonna make it here, but, you know, for that, because, you know, I spent the last 3 hours in handcuffs and fun again. So, and he's the type of person, none of us really wants to step on his toes. And so nobody wants to take the risk and start another business. It's like, oh, yeah. That's why.
Anybody here not hear what Lisa said? Anybody here not hear what Lisa said? All right, so to summarize what Lisa said, do you guys remember the Bugs Bunny cartoons? There's like this big, like bulldog in the Bugs Bunny cartoons. He had a big collar, he'd run around, and there was a little dog that ran around behind him. He's like yapping. Guess what would happen? What would happen? But the big dog would turn around and smack the little dog and say, yeah, shit. And little dog would shut up for a little bit. Well, that's the guy she's talking about. He's a little dog, he's got, anyway, personality. So, you know this, like when we first started hanging out, it was hard to get this thing started, right? Our first couple of meetings, it was just me and I and Barry and Kim kind of sitting around talking. So, getting something going in Kansas City, PJ, or in East Summit, or in Wichita, it's hard because of ego. So we talked about this, I think a year ago about the group dynamics class. You guys all attended. I don't know if some of you guys attended, but really it starts with ego. So if you don't have someone who can put their ego aside and work through their differences, like where I'm weak, Joe is strong, vice versa, where Patrick is building in a box of rocks, Jeremiah is extremely intelligent, right? So it's checks and balances, having a system where people bolster each other's strengths, you know, masking each other's weaknesses, just like you do for me, just like Tim does for you. Right? So having the genetic makeup in an ecosystem is one thing, but just because you have all the primordial group that allows you to form a group or to build a community or put together something that's more than just Lisa from Wichita or Peggy from Topeka, it takes someone to stand in front and lead. There's days I don't want to do this, Peggy. There's days I would just stay home and work on the chicken feed, or be ready for tomorrow's big meeting. Watch football, right? But here we are. Did I salute you? I salute you. I would salute you twice if you took that to
Jerry? Want some Marine? Always Marine. No such thing as one Marine. You guys, everybody in the room knows the sound it makes when poop actually hits the fan? Yeah, you just took like a wet handful of, I think it's how. You got, I've never held wet dog poop. We don't wet cow poop. It's a little weight to it. It's something to do. But if you took a wet handful of cow poop and you slung it into the fan, it goes flying. We don't have to learn that. You freak me out. Yes, you did. Marine. Well, I got it. Yeah. I practiced both of them. Just saying. Brown. Yeah. So from the back it says, Ronnie. Where's Bobby's not looking anywhere. All right, Andy, that's all I got here. We got 20 more minutes. Bobby, we still 20 more minutes? Dog is shame. Dog, wait.
Go make a game.
When it comes to the Amish and Mennonite community, they're willing to participate and teach you if you participate in their community. If you don't participate in their community, talk with their community, do all that, it's really, you can't make a relationship with them. The women will make a relationship with you. Martha, I just shout out to her. I don't know if she's watched or not, she should be, because she is what we were doing, but it's also Sunday, so they have to be something that they do later on. But she will give us a good comment to run a different store up there in Jamesport, her and her family. And we go and we talk to the mom, and we get a lot of our stores there, and that kind of thing. Have a different website. And she's been begging me to get my template done so that they can carry it in the store. I just haven't kind of coming up on that being able to do it. So we participated in them, so we're participating. If you have to make that relationship. Like with any community, right? So if your community is gonna work, you have to participate. You don't participate, you're not gonna make that relationship. So we lined it up from experience. We had the European front of Southern Hill. We had a community up there that we had trying to build, preppers, and they wanted to talk about something. Nobody wanted anybody to know what they were doing. Because of that old tale of, once they know what you have, they're gonna come do it. And it's just like that, you have to be ready, because it's something like that, and then the first one that you take that, right? You get another opportunity. And I got a map, I know who's going.
So, but, you know, it's one of those things that you don't know until you start participating and getting it, and, you know, if you don't really participate, then you will be good, and never know, Bobby, and never not there. And it was super fun, because when we went to have a camp out, that was, it was even, before. And it was for your student anniversary. And, going camping and all that, and so I'm gonna go camping, and I'm like, I was like, no, let's just fill out the crazy first before I get you involved. It's been the best thing done. So we go 5 small families and a background, and we'll get really excited. We film it here, you know, up north, there's more to come. There's several more topics coming in, like hopefully we'll start at some point out. So it doesn't matter how many, you know, 6 days.
You're gonna work for it either way.
June my first clock. And we're on the show. Oh, TJ was my first clock. You have 35 minutes, and you guys are the small one, right? The small hall. Huh? 27 more minutes. So those will go back to that, by the time we get one going on. So there we put our structure come down, and, once the structure gets down to about 5, I can pull the fingers, and then I'll make it go a little bit faster, and then pull it. But I just realized that this is, I have to do, we have a driving rate. Yes. I don't think they have to learn. I don't want to go to the, I'll be really easier because and it feels like a little bit more. So I got plenty of time. I bet, so by the time you get it, you can, and you do it, some people, and if they don't use it, people just use it. You get to the point that they just doesn't have a lot of money anymore. Kind of balance all the different work, it's all that fast. And I know what sometimes I have some questions, they don't have to, one yeah. Wonderful. Pretty good. How far is it? What you looking for?
Hot pads and mix, so I got everything out the first shot. No, she doesn't.
Seriously? Are you just
Oh my God.
Midwest Potato? That's what, maybe there's this one, comes from the super excited. And, when we bought, actually gave me a big box, so I could go into the summer. I want to talk, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the microphone, and if you all need anything, let me know. And I'll let you know, TJ will let me know when time is ready for that first scan. And then, when the second one's ready, you'll holler. The third one I know is gonna be a little bit longer, but that's okay. I don't think it's, but maybe 10 minutes more or something like that. We'll have to- so, all right.
Debating whether to turn that one up and debating whether to turn that one down. It's like, if you adjust them, they go too far, you know what I mean?
One down a couple pounds off or
Right, so it should be 12, and it's
about 15.
closer to 14. That one, I can't, or 10, I don't like that. So
Yeah, this
I'm gonna try,
and I turned it up.
I'm gonna try, but last time I turned it up, it went too high.
So my uncle wanted somebody to make it. When they were kids, just a-
I haven't seen one that big.
no, I haven't either. I guess I've seen the top two down tight, but I didn't know how to put it together. These are American.
Yep, that's the American.
The two in front are American, the one back is a truck, so
I got it.
I have a truck,
Did you figure out which one's supposed to be the 112?
it's these two that need to be 12.
Okay.
And that one's actually close to 14, this one's 13.
Okay.
That one
The whole
is
10.
10.
You turn that one up, is it supposed to be a 15?
No, they're all supposed to be 10, but these two, the gate is off right there.
Okay, got it. A little bit more will hurt. Okay, so these are more.
These can have a higher pressure, but that one you won't have a lower pressure.
Well, it's, the gauge is wrong.
Gauges are off.
The gauge is wrong.
That's one.
So in order to be 10 pounds, it needs to say 12.
Got it. So if it was, so if it's brand new and it's working right,
They'd all be 10.
got it.
Yeah.
That's the missing piece that I was like trying to figure out why they were supposed to be different. Okay. So you live in Winterville?
Yeah. Hopefully not for much longer.
Have you lived here a long time?
Yeah. 37 years.
Buddy of mine's got a food truck down there. He tried having a restaurant, but it went south.
You recognize this guy? Jeremy Winkley. Stores in Owens. No.
Where's that?
It's like northern Wichita, but he owns a facility that it used to be.
Oh my God. Drop all the way down to 7. That is not good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is buddy of mine. Has a little house of land. He's gone to a food truck instead of the fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's all over Wichita. Good food if you ever see it.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna go ask him. Where'd you go?
Outside. Yeah, that's the burner. That's maxed out.
Yep. Why it dropped so low?
So quickly. Because it was at 10.
Yeah, like a couple minutes before.
Yeah.
I turned up what I felt like was a fairly good amount, and it didn't go back up. It's still at 7.
Yeah, some of it's just, we were looking at this one, you know, and it may be off, this is something Dee and I were talking about, it may be off a little bit because it doesn't have that glass. But I can tell, like that weight, see how the weight is serving? Yeah. I can tell that it's fine. Okay. If it's a nice hula,
The gauge is messing with me.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good, as long as that's still in our hula. If that comes out of a hula before our time, then I'm gonna have to reprocess it.
Yeah. Okay, well,
So
we're
that's how
sorry
you
about
know
you.
if you're in the danger zone and if the hula stops dancing.
Yeah, do not stop dancing, you're screwed.
And I need to, since they don't feel like it, you wouldn't really know.
Well, and we also have the fire down, so, cause I can feel it cooler in here than it was.
Well, they turn on the,
We turned it back off so that, they have a fan on it.
yeah, that's, I put the, bags over there so people can help themselves. Smells good in here.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay,
Yeah, no, we're good.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna send that picture to my
Good
friend
to know how to
Diane.
troubleshoot it out. Is this a, safety pressure relief valve, so if it got too hot, and pop that? And then these don't have that,
No, these don't have that.
but it would take a lot, I would feel like, because this can let a lot of steam out, so this is
Well, these are locked too, so if you saw how we put them on, everything off, so it's not going to explode. So. Now I can smell something and I can see that. Let me get it down.
could that have been maybe why that it went down, if the jar broke? Could have been one of the meatball ones. It would have been one more of the-
Did we put meatballs in there? I think we did.
And it was that cold over it, like it should have dropped the pressure.
Well,
Well, no, but it should be by now, because it's
it's
playing
hot
out.
right now. But if the lid came off or something like that.
Hopefully it wasn't on. I made sure I got it down to a half inch though.
Yeah, and you did the vinegar and all that.
I'd have been here sooner than you know what I had left on my left leg. She's sad because you have separation anxiety and you cry.
What kind of dog is this?
Pakistani.
Oh, well, that's why.
Let's give them some of that like marijuana.
I tried that, but then like, no, I don't like it there.
You ran out of it too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come one night and you didn't wake up for a couple days.
It's, oh, that's too much, she's smaller than you. We should be about done, shouldn't they?
Very close.
Yeah.
We've got 20
See, mine
minutes.
does this too, mine does that stuff there too.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what, cause she's kind of worried all of a sudden the gauge dropped a little bit with the fan was on here.
Oh,
And so that one doesn't have the glass in it.
oh,
We didn't realize that it's all extra. And the replacement gauge that I have is a different nut
oh.
for it and a seal. So, we have to order a couple different parts. But, there's like, no, it'll be fine. And like, even, Paris doesn't have these pressure.
Oh, she doesn't.
She only goes off that offer.
You've been doing it a long time.
Well, my mother's old piano that I use sometimes, has rocks in it, have a liquor, they do.
Yeah, that's fine.
All good?
Yes, that's certainly on my privileges.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
cause I said, I don't talk just to hear myself talk.
Oh, that is the one making, that's what's burning. I hope it wasn't yours.
Which one is in there?
The salt
Ah.
and the sauce.
Something
Uh-huh,
to make
someone get
it.
it.
You got your way.
Nasty balls.
Yep. And whoever, hopefully, whoever Nicola, whatever brought it.
Anybody know if there's any trim? Yeah, very good.
I'll check
Gonna
it
zoom in on my forehead.
out.
Gonna zoom out.
Mine had an X on it.
That's
I gave
better.
it half inch. So
All right, so to those of you that are still watching, looks like there's a couple of you out there. Thank you very much for hanging in there. We appreciate you being with us this afternoon. Looks like they're getting ready to wrap up. We will not be doing a MAG meeting next month due to the festival. If you don't know what that is, MidwestPreparednessProject.com. Go there, you can RSVP for our festival coming up September the 8th through the 13th, with classes going Thursday through Saturday, workshops going Thursday through Saturday. We're hosting the Self-Reliance Festival Takeover. They will be coming, hanging out with us on Thursday as well. That's going to be fun. You won't want to miss that. Youth classes, adult classes, vendors, food trucks, all the good things, plus community and fellowship.
Halfway up
All
to
under
17.
one campfire.
Yeah.
Won't want to miss it.
So
If
that's
you're interested, and if you're curious, if you're trying to get
So
out the
this
fence.
is when
This is
this
the place to do it.
happens, you have to.
If you want to try out your camping gear, if you want to meet some people that have been doing it for a while, you want to network with some people that just started. They're all going to be there. This is a great opportunity for you. Again, MidwestPreparednessProject.com. You can find us on social media. We are on Discord, Facebook. I think we're on LinkedIn. What else are we on, Todd? We're on Rumble. We're on several places, but mainly on Facebook and Discord and our YouTube channel. But
I mean, I can
anyway,
still get
we're
them out.
bringing you
It's plenty
guys
of hot
around here.
tubs, but Peggy went and got one for me.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't wanna do
You can
this.
see what they're doing in here in the kitchen. We're getting ready to, there's Angie. Angie, what are we getting ready to do?
So we're gonna get ready to pull. I don't have my microphone. I don't know if I'm.
It's okay, the shotgun's picking you up.
So we're getting ready to prepare and get the jars pulled out. And as soon, we do have one jar. We're hoping it's only one that failed, and that's the meatballs and sauce, which is super sad.
Good. Does it have somebody's name on it so we can shame them?
Everybody put their name on their jars because they wanted to know who failed and who didn't. So,
Ryan, did you do meatballs?
I took a bunch out thanks to you. You might have saved my life.
but
The pros are for.
You never know.
but what's interesting with the meatballs is there were only 5 jars available for meatballs. So it's 5 people, and I'm pretty sure most of the people that did meatballs are still here. So they get to clean the canner.
Love it. Love it. This is how we learn, though, right?
It is a live and learn. They'll never do it again.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing. That's what we're figuring out here. We'll get everything out.
So you're getting the area prepped.
I'm getting the area prepped. What I do is I just lay out the house. This is what the jars are going to go on. And Miss Peggy was able to go get me a can lifter because then all the planning, all my tools are in special drawers, trying to make sure that I have everything, and you always forget something.
Angie, how much pre-work goes into doing something on this scale?
A lot. So depending on how you're doing it, if you're butchering your animals, whatever, however you're doing that, basically what we do is we split up a weekend. And so we'll start on Friday, get everything set up and get all of that ready to go. And then once that's ready to go, we meet on Saturday morning, and then we butcher all of the chickens and get that going. Cut everything down, that kind of thing. Then all of that goes on ice and it stays there. And then the next day we come back, can everything, get all of that together, get the jars packed, get those in, get all of that done.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to chickens, it takes another day. So we actually, on that Monday, will go in, and that is the day for broth. And so all of the bones, the carcass, anything that we have left over, all of that goes in, we make the broth. And then with broth, you have to be very careful with it because broth can go sour. So if you let it cool down on its own, it's going to go sour. So we use bags of ice, and then those go in to cool it down and get it going. And then we fill jars and we can that. And sometimes we're blessed because Cowboy and Chris will stay back on Tuesday and finish up whatever didn't get done on Monday.
So this could be a 3 to 4 day, maybe even 5 day process.
Yes.
Depending on the product.
Depending on the product and how much product.
Yeah.
So that was 125 birds.
Yeah.
So it just depends. And we had it pretty organized on how we do it. The hoses were available, that kind of thing. We put everything out. The butcher process takes some work and it takes time.
Yeah, stations. We've been out for butchering days.
Yeah.
You got everyone in a station, which makes the days fly by.
Yes, it does. Yeah. We could knock out. One time it was Steve, me, Patty, and Chris, and we knocked out a little over 50 birds, maybe 55, in an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours, somewhere in there.
Yeah, you're getting it though.
Huh?
You're getting it. That's like working.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah.
It's work. You have to have somebody catch them. You have to have somebody kill them. You have to have somebody dip them. You have to have somebody pluck them, and then they go in, and then you got to have somebody cutting them up.
Yeah.
With the strong bond method.
The strong bond method. Yes. That's right. If you missed that, a couple of festivals back, we demonstrated the strong bond method at a Bloomington West.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 summers back.
I think so.
Darren and Darren Strong and Billy Bond.
Billy Bond.
Yeah. The permaculture pimps.
Yeah. So yeah, so we got that done, and that's a lot of fun. So yeah, and then luckily I didn't have to can any of it, so it was really good. But William Baum came out to the farm with Matt, and they butchered five five goats, 4 sheep, 6 sheep, somewhere in there.
Those boys put in some work.
They put in some work.
Yeah.
It took Garen, Darren, Daniel, Matt, and William to get all that done.
I
But
believe
they
it.
knocked it out in one day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that would be enough meat for a small tribe, right? For a
So
couple
it
weeks.
was, yeah, and it was a small tribe that it went back to. So all of that meat was being dispersed for people that didn't know if they cared for sheep or didn't know if they cared for goats. And so that meat went back so that they could learn and how to cook it and how it would taste and if it was something they wanted to put on their farm.
Yeah.
If it worked for them, which is an excellent idea.
Yeah, because I was going to say veal is a completely different cut.
Right.
If you don't know how to work with it, it can be very gamey.
Right.
Or if it gets too old, it can get gamey.
Right.
So, like, I've had great veal, and I've had what the hell did I just put in my mouth veal?
Right. Right. Yeah. And lamb works the same way.
Yeah.
So lamb is a very mild meat. It's and so it absorbs every flavor that you put in it. You really have to know how to prepare it.
Right.
And so I don't know. I love it. Other people they hate it. Those people that hate it will come over to my house and eat it, and they love it.
Yeah.
And so it's all in how you make it.
prepare it. Yeah. So how many jars are we doing today?
So today we forgot a jar, but we did 31. We should have done 32. That's my fault. And but we know that we've lost at least one, and because I can smell it. And so we'll see who's that.
So
one.
that's the burnt coffee smell we're smelling.
That is the burnt coffee smell that you're smelling.
Okay, so that's somebody's bacon or.
No, we're certain by the color of it that it is the meatballs and sauce.
Okay, so we're burning pasta sauce and meatballs right now. Someone is.
Cooney and
Yeah.
lamb.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, that's why we do these things, though, right?
it is. It is. But I'll tell you what, they're all gonna learn, they're gonna know this,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna be afraid if they get into their canner and this happens to them, they're gonna remember this and continue to can instead of quitting.
Did you get any good questions from the crowd today?
Excellent question. I think, now from what I heard, because I was a little concerned, there weren't enough questions, but everybody came to me and they're like, you laid it all out. And so, excellent, great. I hope that works for all of the viewers that are watching on the computer as well.
Good.
I heard comments from people that had never canned meat before. That's not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And so that was excellent to hear.
Yeah.
Super exciting. So,
Well, several people that had watched Grandma can,
right.
but they'd never canned, right? So when you'd ask them, have you ever canned before? Oh, yeah, I've been around it my whole life. That's not the same as doing it, right?
Right.
And you don't learn that until you crack a jar or have to clean a canner.
Right. And then, the other thing that I was asked too was about the pressure. How do you know that thing's not going to explode? When is it going to explode? I had to explain that to Brian. And so he's the one that asked me. And I said, they're not going to explode, one, because they all have locks on them. That's a feature now on the canner, that there's a lock on them, and it won't explode. So there's really nothing to be afraid of at this point. And I wish I would have brought that up when you asked me anything else to look out for and that kind of thing. You weren't telling me that you were.
It's okay, you're telling them
afraid.
now.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that is not going to explode on you now. Does that mean a jar will not explode on you when you got to open it? No, if you handle it incorrectly, yeah, that's absolutely a possibility that jar can pop a lid and explode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, you guys getting out of here?
Yeah. Wait till he's done there. Maybe. See you tomorrow.
That's the one thing I've done weirdly.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's a bad one.
Yeah, no problem. You ready to go home and can now?
Cause it's been all the way down to 7, and it's been all the way up to 17. It's too weird. I can't make up the mind. Keep doing it.
It's a pretty good starter.
I have a friend, and I haven't had it out in a few years. So if you have any questions,
It's kind of like breathing deep. You ask a beekeeper, right? If he's been answered or 10 beekeepers the same question, you're gonna get 15 different feedback and all of and so, but if you're having talking, kind of getting that level feeling on there. We're just working barely with their
When I was younger, I didn't make jelly every year. I just did it. And like, when I wanted to do that, I
So we actually are been so yeah, the whole place was in person. I don't encourage you to run from so that for you when I'm talking about activities and that kind of stuff. Right. Yeah, no, it's really good that we can make things like 20 rippers. I don't even know.
This one's not ready
Yeah,
yet.
you must have it.
No, it's not. I saw one last time.
I'm not
I'm finding
kidding.
this one. It still has 10 minutes.
What timer did she show?
When they said it, it
Those were yours.
should be about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're waiting to see who started.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I need to find out if it compares to my house.
But yeah, so lots of, if that's the case, I'll just
Put the house back in the bank. And
He was very friendly.
because it's really all I have.
Trying to get him he's 3 years older than me. So he was finally
I
full
have
of
pictures. We want to buy a house.
count it, but
And to see how much they give me. You know, what kills me is, you know, the county is telling me my house is all went off, and I'm like. Yeah, and then if I could get 40, if I could get 40,000 out of it, I'd be happy. And then, so I'm just like, I don't know.
but they,
So, like, when I thought about, and he was, if I could go for it, and just found talking about, you know. Yeah, people do that. I just don't know. I don't know.
okay.
So I want to.
I wanna do that.
I don't know.
We haven't seen him in a couple of years. There used to be a guy
I know when I finally make one, I'm gonna be like, I wish I'd done this.
right out here by Club. It's not, and they need to be taken out.
So, I can't afford
He's actually working it.
to get rid of all my stuff and then replace all my stuff. But, like, if I sell my house, what do I do with my stuff? You know, and it's like,
storage unit in Topeka, and it's like having to pay you know, you can't downsize your apartment.
Well, that's what my husband knows. What I really want to do under the day. And have to go in the driveway. Because right now, only
Right there on the edge of the driveway.
only for 2 more weeks, but he is going to do is Oh, I'm not. It's like, okay, so here's a lot, and they only want to use next year.
I'm going, okay, let's turn it around.
And I'm like,
Right now.
you know, want me, I pick next year. You know what I mean? And I don't know what the codes are.
Okay, so there.
I have actually considered, no, I think she's got the first 2 years. So like, Elton County is the top account.
We are not yet, we're getting those down to 5, and then as soon as those two down to 5, which is what you're used to, those two can come off and start there, especially since that's.
You know, and get rid of it there.
And then, this one has like another 5 minutes, and then they'll come back.
Let's tell everybody
You know what I mean? If they have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom.
So it's like-
If they have to drink, drink.
About 5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 10.
You know?
We have about 5 to 7 minutes, so we're going to find out who's job. So please get your drinks, smoke your bottle, something, up your area, pick up your Scott. Quickly as we can. 5 to 7 minutes, we'll get started in the final phase. Shaking.
But I also, because of their stuff, basically, they were building their house, and they just, they didn't have they rented a little house, while they were building it. And then, she had this kind of stuff, so they had to work for just to doing all three. They and so this was the one. So I just wrote the notes for them, and then played around. And then, but again, participating in the community, getting to know people, and that. And then I had another one, but I also came from a community, my very first one. And so they just didn't have time to mess with it because of the hours and everything else. And I kept looking out, getting a wife, and so I got that large for $1,200, but it finally grew down. So I ordered that for electrical work in my house. And this is what it is, you can take care of that. You take care of that, and I got a fully operational freeze dryer. And so he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So they did that. So this week, check on Facebook. They sell a lot of them. And it's only a warranty issue when you get them. So see if they still have their paperwork, because the only way it's still in their warranty, the only way they're gonna work on anything is if you will guarantee. Because now they're aware that you pay everybody what you want, and that's gonna come. So, customer friendly. And I think it's just good. So it's, Dartboard, and so we're. I don't know, we're gonna pump and water.
Are you gonna need the mic for the last part? Smaller crowd.
I've been a little bit of both. You go hungry when you're a kid, and you got to learn what you need to do to become your best favorite hobby.
You know what, me too, but it was like, for OCD. So I've already tried getting her twice today, and I can't do it anymore. We gotta leave her be.
It's not OCD, it's, probably autism.
Think so.
That needs to be washed.
Yeah, the
Were those calls,
Well, I was just gonna pay $20 a box. There we go. Alright, we'll give that about 5 minutes or so. We'll be ready to pull.
That's a good teaching thing about.
Do you know who, the channel Sutton's Days? Have you heard of? She will only use 4 jars, so 4jars.com. She'll only use their lids.
I
She
love
says
4 jars.
They almost never fail.
Yeah, I love 4 jars. Somebody else was telling me, I think they're getting with the corporation to America, which I thought was supposed to happen already, but I don't think it has because they're out of the Ukraine. And so, but I believe they're gonna be manufacturing their own jars, jars, not just the lids. So, we go, yeah, we go.
Yeah, time's up. The store in Ohio, you're talking about Lehman.
That's it, leave it. Would you go pepper store?
Yeah, pretty much. Ohio Amish store.
So,
Yeah, same. Well, I did this for
The
years,
original owners
but I've never done it.
sold that.
yeah, it's not Amish.
And the new owners, are selling stuff at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's not the authenticity they used to love.
So even the, like, they do, like, Amish water bath candles, it takes 2 burners to do it.
Yeah.
By the way, it's so worth the money.
I've got the specs on how to build one out of St. Louis.
Bever has them, and so, and it was Bever granite linen is what they're selling. And you can get them off of Amazon as cheap as $175. And so I think I ended up paying like $200, $250 for mine, something like that. But that was in the very beginning, and I believe the price is okay. So,
I've got a TIG welder, so I like the challenge of making things.
well, so if you figure it out, right, okay, challenge for you. So if you figure it out and you figure out how to make it into it, the one thing I would have loved to have had with this, because it's so big and so heavy, that I cannot lift it on my own with water in it, it has to be full of water. Like is a valve.
Oh, a boiler drain valve, yeah.
Set down this way, right?
Yes, sir.
Peak area magnetar for the air quality. So that's that. There's a lease on that and there's a peak area magnetar.
We'll add everybody that or?
Do we know how many
Right there,
people
okay, yeah.
Do we know?
And that's all the information speaking that is gonna be on this. And on Signal.
You got three, yeah.
But Peggy had clear copies. Do we know how many are left?
I can find out for you. Are you ready for it? All right, if you're gonna come in the kitchen to see the final portion of today's event, please go ahead and make your way into the kitchen now for the unboxing and the shaving.
I can't believe you're already trying to open it. I can schedule posts on Facebook.
They'll continue for quite a while. You'd have to go.
I am able to schedule posts.
I guess I didn't remember that.
I can schedule posts on X. I can schedule posts on the
Right.
I need a right quick.
But we don't really use the X anymore. Which we should not.
I don't know where anything else is, other than paper towel.
It was out here. I was first
You want that one? I think we need to see what.
We had some of the church things come through and like clean and reorganize the kitchen. I was trying to figure out where they put it. And this is my church too.
All right, so when we take the lid off, we got it down. I don't think so unlocking it. You want to make sure when you lift it,
Oh.
it's away from you.
Oh,
That's
look at that.
meatball. Was it?
Somebody had explosive balls.
TJ meatball, that's mine.
Yeah.
Not TJ, but TJ. TJ, you've got a canner to wash. So we're gonna hold up on this one.
Do we want to move that over here to make?
Yeah, I will. It didn't break, the lid popped off, it wasn't finger tight, I guess.
No, well, that didn't break. Before I make fun of Tuesday, I'm gonna find out if any of mine. Happening.
You have
Smart choice.
balls.
But then, yeah, so I always see you say this, and it's kind of, a little over passionate. They want the people.
The reason we're not doing this class on the anniversary of the Boston bombing, just saying. Too soon?
I don't know which one's it, but something there. Not as bad as the other one, but.
Did one blow up in there too?
Looks like it. Hey, Bobby?
Yeah.
You done?
Yeah.
It's gone.
Like gone? Like it was the ether?
Oh, no, but it's not where it's supposed to be.
I think one of these
Is that from the bacon?
I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, the bottom came off.
I've only had it very easy.
I had one where the bottom came off.
So that's what happened there.
It wasn't a huge deal. That-
I could have had.
Then you're just kind of like, oh god, and you're like, happy to get it.
I've never had a mess like that.
That was,
As long as it's around 10, we're good, or?
yeah, so the 5 4 days, this one I put zero, then we really have to. This is our chicken. This is like table wiener. So that will be fine. You're gonna check the lid on eBay yeah. So this is what I don't know if that's on or not. If I can't talk to myself.
Is it too early to take these out of here?
Yeah, it's hot, and so, well, I don't want to clean them, but I don't want to put them in the
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. This is a panic.
Keep in mind, we're going to have to on and off for that.
I've been out working at my tree line with saws all day and lifting it. So like, oh, man.
You didn't even do it. So do you see why we don't add water to the chicken?
Why?
And this one you'll just put in the trash?
Yeah. Well, was it the jar that was broken or was it?
Yeah, but you know, people learn more from failure than they do from success. So,
Yeah, I agree.
what did I have blow up on?
I don't know yet. You need it here? What, what's that?
They pulled over. Of course, I had to wait for the jar to cool off before I could clean them up.
Right?
Yeah. They were, I think that one needs to be brought up next to this. Oh, this rested on there, and I thought, oh. this is-
Oh, yeah, I know you should.
Okay, yeah, okay.
This may take a couple of days.
So the bacon, after you pull that bacon out, you have to cook it, right?
Yeah, could crisp it up if you want.
What in? Yeah, let me let me get a bag.
Oh, that's very nice.
Oh, I don't know if I can. I'm surprised Jessica didn't show up.
I'm gonna say. What did I do with that? Oh, the meatballs.
Oh, yeah.
My bag. I got the.
Okay. I'm gonna wash the, well, maybe we, I don't know if.
So what's the final verdict? How'd it go?
Got one more we gotta get open, but
Out of what's been
we
done?
had 2 jars fail. One, the lid came off. We think it's a lid quality issue. And the other one, the bottom of the jar broke.
I saw that one. That was the meatballs.
We think that that is a jar issue. These are mainstay jars. I got the
They're
generic
very
jars.
good. Yeah, very good.
Never again.
Yeah.
So next time, I guess I will have to spend the $20 for a case of jars. Which is ridiculous, isn't it?
It's gotten so expensive.
Yeah.
I put a bag out there, back behind the chair.
Okay.
I put it,
The interesting thing is that it was a very clean drink. Yeah, super clean. Like, when I saw that on the jar, I was like, well, this could be safe.
Actually, all the water contaminants in
Well, no, there would be water in there if it didn't burn all of the sauce,
Oh,
right? So that's taking out water. But, yeah, I told you this one we're just gonna toss because it's in the way. From the commercial thing. So this is just toast. Yeah. Well, you know how many years I've done this, I guess. Pays
so
for
this
itself.
is the bacon?
Yeah, that's the bacon.
That's kind of weird.
And then, well, it looks weird, it's hot right now, and it's got food on the outside of it. The jars have to be washed, but we can't put them under water yet.
Yeah, and that's the chicken.
Yeah,
So basically,
yeah, and this is why we don't have water into the chicken.
All the juices boil out.
yeah, gotcha. See, and this is the, that's the bacon.
Yeah, those are the bacon.
Exactly, something about that.
Mhm,
Okay.
yeah,
And this is bacon too?
that's bacon too.
This is
Not all, some are being filtered.
The bum that I missed tonight's last one. Oh.
Couple more minutes. You're what, it's hot.
We got the easiest one. We're 10 minutes from the house.
Who was in it? Do you know?
NA for the name.
Went out there.
We live on the truck, NA.
2020.
Oh, was that not the name? If there was in it, here, what guy in the red shirt wasn't up in there? Thunder could have been. Oh. Was it the one that blew up? So we had one the bottom of the jar broke clean, and then we had another one the lid filled pot along with that. Beer and check the ring and then check the glass. It was a quality issue, so not
Her sister is doing an awful can open nothing. Always Russian roulette.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Thank
And they're both her sisters are OCD. They only use ball jars. They won't use anything else.
So you get what you pay for. But we were already over $200 for food, and then the jars on top of that at $20 a piece. Yeah, and so I took a gamble and I lost. Well, I didn't really.
Oh, you guys are paying.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And the chicken.
I'll make
they
you
just
go
was
to
in
church.
So it's just one of those things. It is what it is. And look, we really, even though we only did 5 of the meatballs. No, we had got more than that. That's weird. So 7 of the meatballs, so we lost 2.
Okay, so did you say you're doing that?
That's trash.
Okay, now, do I have to take this off before wash? Okay.
Yeah.
I know. So, yeah, we're together.
You said you can't take it anywhere.
No taste out fresh.
This is what I do.
Somehow it is the other way, Becky.
Oh, well.
Great show.
Oh my God.
My name's Patrick Henry. I'm here to break your shit.
My superpower is I can't spell aardvark,
Who the hell can?
and I break things.
I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass.
See, Claude says, what? Okay, Angie, I got a question from the crowd.
Yes.
Okay, so Postmodern Soapbox says, y'all are awesome. Thank you, Postmodern Soapbox. Go ahead.
What brand of jar broke? We have a question.
That is the mainstay jar. And so this is the conversation that we've been having in here. So the mainstay jars, and it was a cost issue. I was trying to keep costs down. We didn't really know what everything was going to be. So I went ahead and I got the mainstay jars, and we had a lid failure, a ring failure that just didn't do what it was supposed to. Nothing with the canner itself, the person who processed it. And then the other jar, the bottom glass just popped. That is a quality issue. It was a clean cut.
Just like we were talking about.
Just like we were talking about. It was a clean cut, like severed. So and where it was at is in that room on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so that came apart. That's a quality issue. Also not the processor issue.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Claude
So
says, thank you so much for explaining it. You're welcome, Claude Ortega.
yeah, you get what you pay for. And so ball jars, we were just talking about 4 jars. Check them out, 4jars.com. That's FORJARS.com.
4 jars.
4 jars. And so they're out of the Ukraine right now. They are looking to bring the manufacturing to America. They've been working on it for a few years. They're good quality lids, excellent quality. And they're my favorite. They're just a little expensive. And so it is what it is. But they're also great sponsors as well. So maybe we'll see if we can get them to sponsor something and
That'd be
do
great.
something next time. And I do believe that they are looking into, if they have not already started, making glass jars.
Nice.
So hopefully those will be better quality as well.
4 jars.
4jars.com. Yeah.
The Ukrainian, and I hear the rumor is they use those to take down Russian drones as well.
Well, if you see how a lot of the canners can in the Ukraine, I wouldn't doubt that. They use the pot and all.
Rebel canners,
Right.
like true rebels.
They're true rebel canners. We tried one of the Ukrainian, one of the gals from the Ukraine. We tried her process because we were out of the bottom rims, and so we tried it the way she did it with the towels, and it worked beautiful.
They're
So,
looking at us like they got a question.
do you have a question? Huh?
Where's your lid in the trash?
Oh, that's trash.
Oh, he's cleaning it.
Oh, you don't have to clean that one.
The pot?
Put in the trash can.
This one's all got much work stuff on.
Huh? Well, so if you can save the bottom portion of it,
Yeah.
great. But you don't have to clean the can we're trashing that.
He's cleaning a canner, honey.
Yeah, I know, the Presto.
Okay.
The Presto's gonna be,
It's
so
warped on the bottom.
it's warped on the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. So that's part of the problem we also had as well. So when there were some issues going on in there, now this canner is older than dirt. It's one of the originals. In fact, they don't make the gauges for it anymore, and there's a lot of it they don't make. So just time for Mama to get a new canner. No problem.
You hear that, Garen? Mama needs a new pair of shoes and a canner.
It's like you have enough canners. I'm tired of using them. But I like to have a different kind of canner because I like to have a canner on hand that people can afford, because I think it's very important to show that. But again, here we go. There's one that you can afford. You're going to have to replace it every once in a while. It just is what it is. But it's paid for itself in volume, so I'm not mad at it.
Right. Perfect is the enemy of good.
Right. So anyway, so that's that. Do we have any other questions that I can answer?
No, not right now. Just Will Barngrover wanted to say Angie is very knowledgeable about canning. Meat is so much easier than he expected.
Perfect. Well, good. Then I hope you get started soon. Yeah.
We got a handful of people checking you guys out.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this other the canner emptied out, since I have people helping me washing.
Very good.
Thank you. Crossbody. You guys do a
Oh, Joe's
crossbody.
gonna use his strong hands.
Just don't make it.
Strong hand, child, don't get blowed up.
It's locked, you cannot get blown up.
Well, when you get to the last one, you could. Besides, my teasing him. You know better than that, you know it's locked. I told him not to move the lid. I don't think he's scared.
It's like, it's just another experience. Granny.
I work in a dog food factory where,
Oh, so you know about it.
Hills? Yeah. Yeah, mechanic for them.
I used to have a buddy that worked with a quality control guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, why did you quit piano? Because I didn't call you last harvest, did you?
Yep, it's all your fault.
Oh, my God. Well, we'll get you back into canning because I got plenty of stuff in the garden now.
Okay.
Our garden didn't do it.
You know, so
It started.
All our
Tomatoes.
tomatoes split and blew up.
because all the rain.
Yeah.
It was spring. We planted later. Tomatoes are just now coming in.
That's what's going on with mine and okay, all the. Crap, I got one tomato plant. What? And I got one jalapeno.
People whine about I get too much rain.
That's all I can handle.
I started out with some plants and they were doing really well. But then once it got time to put them in the ground, I lost all motivation and just didn't put them in the ground.
Okay, so here's the deal.
You think
So
We also had like nice
Gary works
Yeah,
for
I loved it.
the Potawatomi government,
Used to have.
and so they have a big greenhouse. And so what they have left over, they give to them. We've had probably 200 places for about 100 days. We told everybody several times to come and get plants. I did not tell you, and I should have. And then I had another girl who bring me a lot of that. And so a lot of that stuff didn't get in.
Not all.
I thought nobody would come and get it. So next year, that'll be the plan. I'll let him keep.
Yeah, well, and just to rotate
And
it.
then we'll take what I
My wife's,
want.
when she's
Bring the rest
running
of here.
events and stuff,
And
she's
they're all made.
I'm
So
just like,
this is from the reservation.
I'm left to cook, so if I'm not doing.
I was
grill,
shocked
you know,
at
so
the production of
we'll
those
shoot,
videos.
shoot, I mean, I have nothing, never rotated.
Meatballs.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely.
So next year, we'll get you covered next year.
I was telling there's a guy down in the water that I met, and his name is Jerry Moose, and he owns a facility down there called Storage in a Wheat House.
Overplanting.
I probably have more if I search.
Because what we did was,
I just.
that wide, and then,
Storage, tons of,
Mine's this tall.
Pretty little red soda.
one of the buildings, he's retired last year. He did really good with our Washington, my guys. Because he had some of them in there, 200 or 300 like, unless you want to spray them with a chemical, you spray them with, and then now that it's retirement. I've got a bunch of you guys that just
so the, squash bugs, and then the Japanese people, so when you get out of this, you just take a dish soap, and you just have to you just put it in, a dish soap, fill up the water, and one of those big 5 gallons, and spray it down to the trees and the spring and all that.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's what we usually do. We use dogs. It's cheap enough when you're buying it at the same price. But we got one of the guys that one of those Miracle Grow sprayers. You just stick it on the side of the container and they hook it to the garden. That hasn't touched anything or nothing.
We wouldn't get all that out to the pasture. We got 4,000 square feet over on one side.
He's just like,
We'll have to soil it here,
salt.
and then portion
This guy here.
is out there. You have to have
I was joking.
1,000 foot of line, yeah, that's the water.
Yeah, he'd be.
I'm just gonna have a nip on that one.
I try to schedule.
I did not say that.
You broke a jar?
I said if that one.
I got one on.
You'll know when it's not.
Your time to shine. I thought you were smacking at that.
No, I'll tell you, no, so I don't, none of those were the processor's fault.
No.
No, we looked at those where the bottom came off. That was a quality issue. It was a clean break, so that was something when the jar was made. And the other one, Darren looked at the lid and it didn't grasp.
Oh.
So, no fault of it.
Yeah, your permission.
So,
Well, that makes me feel better.
yeah.
See, my bacon didn't look like that.
Well, so you gotta remember this says perfect food on the outside. You gotta wash these have to be washed. But they're too hot right now. So to wash, I mean, they're getting close to being washed. But to be honest, I'll probably just take them home and cool all the way down. And then I've got that, I make that Dawn Power Wash. Dawn Power Wash.
I'm just gonna leave mine here, so I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So y'all can take what you want and what's left. I'm just gonna take it back and
I'll just wash it, set mine over here, put it, don't wash it, and then I'll just put it in the morning.
and wash it. Okay. Yeah, because they should scrub off pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're kidding. How's fun working?
I don't think I've ever had this.
I don't think we'll ever have it. Whenever the doctor did allergy testing on it, Lamb was one of the things that came back that she had a pretty big reaction
But it depends on what you're cooking and what you want. So I've had people tell me that when they eat my lamb chops, they think it's pork chops. So it just depends on how you season it and cook it.
Yes.
I like it Mediterranean style, so I put lemon and herbs and that kind of thing on it. So, and then, but the other lamb huh? No, it's the same. It's just the age that you do.
Yeah, if I did it.
So lamb, we usually do it
Yeah,
a
we
year,
did
and
it.
beef knows are older, and so closer to sheep. So, yeah, so if lamb is like a kid.
Oh, great.
No, like, so goats, baby goats are called kids.
Yeah,
So a lamb is a kid,
okay.
right?
I was gonna have to call her Jeffrey Dahmer or something.
Yeah, I heard lamb is up to 18 months old, and then after that it's mutton.
Yeah. But I like mutton, so I mean, and that's when it's ready to be eaten. Those are the best, but I also raise different kind of sheep, a Rambouillets, and so they're purpose meat sheep. Huh? See, a lot of people like the hair sheep, and that's what they use, the hair sheep. And so we did a Rambouillet, and we're butchering them out, so we
The other one
butcher
was
them out
because no way
between,
it, like,
we usually go about
on properly, like, if
so
everybody's
somewhere in there, depending on how big they are.
love the bodies of one of them is California.
So,
Those are good things for you.
so we do our butchering. If we
Otherwise,
run a
I don't know
salt
about
or anything like that, depends on who it is. Reservation does it there, and they just come for the farm, we butcher it out and then clean them up, and then they come pick them up. They just throw them in a cooler and then they process them themselves. We process ours ourselves. If we feel like we need pop a package or something, then we'll take it up in the locker and then they'll take care of it.
But they don't come out to the cars, do they?
There are some that will, there is some, okay, they're there, we want to get on the farm.
Say like,
Patrick trusts me with this whole thing.
Huh? So there are a few butcher trailers that are out there. We have some in the area because one passed me yesterday on the highway. And we should have seen the apron thing, huge.
about you?
Take that cow right up. It's like, okay, I like
I
that.
don't like to just.
And then a friend of ours, Chris Martin.
And not feeling hostile.
Probably
entire
not
time you're there?
Okay. And, but Chris has a buddy that is working on a trailer to go out and butcher as well. And then, I believe it was William that I was talking to. We ran out into somebody, it was a rural town, in fact, tiny thing, couldn't be about 5 seconds. And she had a nice butcher. Enclosed with freezers for the night.
We butcher all of our own, so always have, but I don't know if we had anybody around here that actually had butcher.
We
Yeah.
still
I have no
have,
idea.
things in that tree that we use for butchering pigs.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a favorite tree of cottonwood.
Yeah. You guys ever do any archery? Snap in half.
Meat rabbits.
Really?
So we did meat rabbits in Pleasantville.
Tell us that.
And so I
Tell
do my
me
rabbit,
that.
it's always Italian style.
Miss you guys.
Roasted Italian rabbit was excellent, and we did sausage with it, that kind of thing. But we are getting back into rabbits. We have some, just have some pumpkin and we gotta talk to Aaron about it. I think we have some pumpkin now. Well, they'll come on. But, I think, I don't talk to but, I think we have some coming, and, those will be dog food.
I just need like.
Because so I cook my dog food, I don't, I make my dog food, basically. We don't buy everything, it's just poison. We have working dogs, the border collies, and the border collies are fragile. I don't know if you use border collies for cattle or not, but, the border collies are soft food and
Yeah,
kind of
you have these boxes.
yeah, the vet was like, oh, yeah, it's the dog, there's something in it, it's just a dog. I got them off the pillow, and they're fine.
Names matter, but they don't matter, they only matter.
Yeah.
Some of the crabs that we stick in dog food.
Right, right. Well, and I was like, Tiffany works at Hills, a friend of mine, and she's up in the department that gets all the testing on materials and everything, and they decided good quality or not, which is not good quality, because it's about so many traces, what is it, the rice that has the.
So this is first.
And arsenic. And so, you know, so it's literally just so, and it's nothing for me to do it. Literally, we have 3 dogs, Great Pyrenees, and then the 2 border collies. And so I go in and I usually do, they're like 15, 18 pounds of cut roast of pork, and then or a pork loin, and then get that, and then I grind all of that down. And then I do 2 bunches of mustard greens, collard greens, and mustard greens, collard greens. There's another green, radish greens. And I threw those in there, put that in, and I just steam those, and then put them in. Sometimes I'll cook them in water for dogs for its taste. Throw that in there, and then I do 2 bags of sweet potatoes. And get sweet potatoes, so maybe a total of 10 pounds of sweet potatoes. And then cook those, get those all down, and 5 pounds of carrots. And then I just mush it all together. Oh, and I do 12 cups of rice. I cook that in a barrel pot. And then I just put everything together, and then I put